in the spirit of Charles Darwin, the Darwin Awards commemorate individuals who protect our gene pool, right, by making the ultimate sacrifice, right, of their own lives. Darwin Award winners eliminate themselves in an extraordinarily idiotic manner, thereby improving our species' chances of long-term survival. You know why they have those stickers on the toaster that say "Do not stick a fork in this"? You know why those bags that say this is not a toy, keep away from children? It's because somebody did that.
Somebody
shit.
took an L. Somebody took an L.
did that shit.
Absolutely.
And so I want to give them the kind of revamp Darwin was. I don't want to go so far as to, I mean, a lot of people are shitting on them. Right? I don't know if I want to go as far as to say that, but I will give them their flowers and say thank you for showing the rest of us what not to fucking do. All right? For showing us what not to fucking do. So it's not because you died, you know what I mean? That's a byproduct, you know what I mean? It's just but you showed us what not to fucking do. So I'm gonna give you a Darwin Award. Cause nigga, I'm not going in no goddamn submersible that freaking bolts me in from the outside.
Bro. Insane.
That's step one.
Insane.
That's one. Darwin, what are you doing here?
It's challenge day.
Yo, challenge day. It's challenge day, y'all. This is season 2, episode 7 of Challenge Day.
We've been doing it that long so far, huh?
It's been a little bit of a minute. You know, speaking of that, I was thinking about I was kind of looking back on like some of the episodes and like even like the pre-show episodes, and I was like, man, we really got some content out there. Like we've
been working at it, bro.
We've been working. We've definitely been working at it, man. Like there's
out the
some
mud.
For real.
Out the mud. It don't come easy.
It really don't, and it does require much more work than people know. So just letting y'all know.
For free.
Yeah, for real. Free game
free
that
right
y'all
now,
really,
man.
really should be playing for real. But
we're gonna hit y'all up soon. We're gonna hit y'all up soon.
Big facts.
We're gonna build this catalog and hit y'all up soon. Stand by. Stand back and stand by. Like your man Trump.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I mean, I need the challengers. I need a challenger army.
For real. But hey, man, that's how we starting this show, man. We're gonna rock out with y'all, man. Just real quick, check us out on all of our social media handles. You know, all the ones that you like to frequent. It's at Another Challenge Day. You'll see it obviously in the screen or whatever. You'll see what it is. Jeff, not Jeffrey. That dude Darwin. You know what time it is. So check us out again all those social media handles. So with that being said, let's get into the show. First things first. Mass count. What you got, bro?
Oh, the mass shooting count, you say, huh? Wouldn't you like to know? Well, guess what? Can we get a drum roll? Anybody?
I am particularly interested about this.
326. 326.
That's crazy.
I think last time was what, 288?
It was 288, yeah, 288.
288. No, 326. Congratulations, America. You played yourself. All right. So
that's people are. I think you know what it made me think about.
It's another day in America, another week.
That's bro. Cameron said it best and paid in full. Ninjas die every day, B.
I die every day, B.
Die every day. This is like I know we're kind of making light of this, which it's not a light subject, but it lets you.
What you gonna do? This is the state of play in this country. It's not on us whether we make light of it or take it serious. Ain't nobody gonna do shit about it. Let me tell you like this. I think I said this before. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna keep repeating it. Once Newtown happened, where those babies got shot up, it was 20-something babies got shot up, and nothing changed. I knew it was a rap. I knew it was a rap. And those was white babies. Those was white babies.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
I'm nobody
like
doing in Connecticut.
Bruh. Where you have some of the most wealthiest people, bruh. So I'm not gonna lie. I found that to be very, very strange.
Give it up. Uvalde, good try. Not young enough. Matter of fact, they went younger before and it didn't do anything.
Yeah, and it didn't
look Uvalde. Yeah. You think that's gonna help? Freaking
especially in Texas? They're like, nah, y'all get over it. Texas.
Forget about it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, with that said, a couple things we're gonna throw back on real quick before we get into the show, the main show. One. So Trump got indicted, right? We talked about. I think. Did we talk about that last time?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Trump got indicted. Mm-hmm. After his indictment, so he's in Miami, right? He goes to this restaurant, this famous Cuban restaurant.
This is
Versailles,
so crazy, bro.
Right? Versailles restaurant. It's a Cuban restaurant. It's not like a it's not a fancy white tablecloth or anything like that kind of establishment, but you know, it's a popular spot.
Yeah, it's a spot.
If
you
go to. Find yourself touring Miami, that's something that like a tourist spot that you be like, boom, let me go get a Cuban sandwich from there or a cafecito or something like that from Versailles, right? He goes in there and they actually singing him happy birthday because his birthday was going to be the next day. You know what I mean? And they're just freaking like loving on him and just like cheering him on and like, we still behind you, Trump, you know, and that fool was like, you know what? I like this. I like you people. You know what I'm gonna do? Food for everybody. Trump declared it so.
Yeah.
Food for everybody. As soon as he said that, and I heard the news report, he's like, oh, because I was kind of watching it throughout the day. I was like, oh, he ain't paying for that.
Nah.
I like, did y'all better get a credit card before y'all start cooking. I better get a credit card. Let me charge it up front. Let me charge it front. And guess what? He did not pay. And mind you, this isn't a white tablecloth spot either. Like I said, this is like you get Cuban sandwiches and stuff like that. So you can like really get an ounce compollo for like freaking like $7 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so the total bill could have came up to maybe like $1,200.
Yeah.
What's it going to a goblin, bro? You're a billionaire.
In fact, you're a billionaire, being like,
bro. What's $1,200? And if anything, you're vastly investing in your constituent,
your base,
right? So it's like, boom, they gonna really use you. He bought me lunch.
That's a tax write-off too.
It's not tax write-off. No, you just pay. No, it's not tax write-off. It's just campaign funds. You just pay for campaign funds.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you just pay for it through campaign funds. It's not even.
I was thinking because it could be utilized that way as far as like, hey, I gave this charity because I gave to people from this restaurant. They could swing it that way, but I see what you're saying.
Well, they always find a way. Maybe they could swing it that way if they wanted to. They could still do it because it could be a business thing. Maybe he's working on his brand.
Yeah,
right?
And that's what I was.
They're there to support him on a political endeavor. Clearly, they're cheering him and cheering him on, and he's there, and he did it specifically to court the Cuban, population in Miami.
Yeah, because
for his presidential bid. So that's definitely a campaign style. He didn't stop there on accident. Oh, I'm just hungry real quick. We all know this dude's favorite lunch is KFC and Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Okay. Facts. So that's what he really wanted to start. He probably had something in the whip. He's like, man, let me stop right here, make an appearance. But muto el figim. You know what I mean? To show my face real quick.
For sure.
Let him not live. Right? And so and so he goes to the spot, you know what I mean? And he does his glad handing and everything like that. You know what I mean? Kissing hands, shaking babies, whatever you got to do, you know what I mean? And he says, hey, dinner's on me. Just pay it, dog. Just pay it. They're going to love you, endear you even more. They're going to have stories to tell because they're going to be like, yo, he bought me lunch, you know, whatever. And you could maybe become fishers of men because you did something good.
See what you did there, yeah.
You dummy! You played yourself because now what you have is the opposite.
Just being a man.
Now these people like coming up like, yo, I'll take a number 7, number 8, and what you and she'll take another number 7. Okay, sir, that'll be 21. What do you mean? He got it. Remember he came in here and said lunch on. He said everybody gets food.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but he's gone now. He didn't leave a card. That's what happened. So now that person is like, the fuck? I could have he just said, you know. So and now all these people collectively they're making it. Oh, maybe he forgot. Oh, you know what? Maybe the restaurant will get reimbursed or some like.
Yeah.
So if the restaurant took it on the chin, right, and just gave out all that food,
yeah.
Now the restaurant is like, hey,
They lost some
Senor
bread.
Trump,
Yeah.
Senor Trump.
Yeah.
But guess what? If that's the way it happened, to the individual person who got themselves a plate, they don't know that Trump stiffed the restaurant.
Yeah, of course.
So they still Gucci with boy.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at. I see what you're getting at. Yeah, yeah.
And the only one is the restaurant that's going to end up they're going to have a lawsuit.
Yeah,
they're going to demand him pay. It's going to drag on 2-3 years, and that's after the election. At that point, Trump don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
if he gets reelected, he don't care about after that joint. You know, so. Sure. I ain't even mean to go into that damn long, but he's such a sons out of it, dog. I knew it.
Yeah,
as soon as I saw the thing, he said food for everybody. I knew he didn't pay. I was like, somebody check on the credit card.
Yeah.
Did he pay? I knew he didn't pay. He didn't pay.
No. He didn't pay. That's not even surprising to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like as I was reading the article, I was like I already knew how the article was gonna end. I was just like, yeah, he's not gonna pay for that. But yeah, like that's nothing to take on the chin, but like to just it's so obvious. It's so obvious.
It's so self-inflicted. Like my
dude,
it's like
yeah, bro.
You could have easily got a W right there. You just did something. It was just like he just stayed hurting himself. He said he is his own worst enemy. And he can't be saved from himself. His kids tried. They're complete. You notice Melania was nowhere to be found when he went to court. Both times.
That was very.
She hasn't been. I haven't seen her on any campaign stop.
I haven't seen her in a minute for sure.
I haven't seen her in a minute. Right? Yeah. She don't really fuck with him like that, you know. But whatever. Next up, she knows what when she signed up for sure. Yep. She get her bread and she got a kid from him, so she's Gucci. The NBA wrapped up. The Heat and the Nuggets was in the finals, you know, and that bit was just way too overwhelming. The greatest big man to ever play statistically to play in the finals happened. You know what I mean? This dude averaged a triple double.
Yeah, Jokic is the one. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
How? This is without ever leaving the ground.
Yeah, for real.
Without ever dunking. I don't think he dunked
right
once.
Now he's the one, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
And he's the biggest guy on the court and hasn't dunked once.
Yeah. He different. So, like I still kind of felt like just as a talent, I felt like Joel Embiid is more talented, but like as far as production,
give me your production, dog.
Yeah, production.
Give me your production.
Production is just Jokic is he's a machine, bro. He at that size and the way that he moves, his strength, his creativity,
passing, and how he leading in assists.
Man, that just lets you know, man. IQ, man. I keep telling folks, man. If you listen, for all the hoopers out there, for all the like real hoopers out there, IQ.
Get your knowledge of the game up. Watch
IQ.
People watch people who play with high IQ and watch their game. Rewind it and watch their game. Don't you can't go out there and watch it a bunch of John Morant's. Watching a bunch of these guys who just put the Shaq. You didn't want to do that. Don't watch Shaq. You ain't built like him. You know, like don't do that.
IQ, you gotta learn the game, bro.
Jimmy Butler, high IQ.
IQ, yeah,
definitely. High IQ, and
he's also a bucket getter.
He's also a bucket getter. He can also get buckets, right? And so he lived off of him and D Wade of getting you off the ground, getting to the foul line, and getting slow points like that. The mini game, right? Misdirection, you know, and like. Picking up speed, slow down. Picking up speed real quick, like all those kinds of movements in the game, and being able to get himself to get to the basket, to get points, to get his teammate points. Playoff Jimmy is what we call him endearingly down in South Florida, people. But like it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Like I'm sorry, Playoff Jimmy had
to be fair though, everybody had a bad game. like if you look at the numbers, like. Everybody pretty much had a bad game. Like the score was.
But it's not. But everybody ain't called playoff Bam. Everybody ain't called playoff Vincent. There's only one playoff Jimmy. Okay,
that's true.
And
he had a bad game.
Not just a bad game, but that last series, like he did great in the opening series, but like that last series, finals, But what can we expect? If we're being completely honest, we were the 8th seed. Yeah, we were a better team. But this is what I told you. That the coach. Remember I said last time?
Yeah.
The coach did come out and say,
I remember
we're the
that
better
speech,
team.
Yeah.
Because we're the better team, we should win this. Not off some, let the better team is gonna win that. No. We are the better team. It's like how do you even like you go against Usain Bolt and be like and act like you have a shot?
Yeah.
Like he's the fastest runner. You know what I mean? Like especially in his prime. So that's over with. Congratulations to the Nuggets. That's their first. You know what I mean? And their thing. And for the Heat to knock out the East and put up that banner for the East. I asked a friend of mine one time, what would you rather have? So for your team, and I guess I'll pose it to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers football fan.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rather have? Several playoff appearances, maybe even several Super Bowl appearances, but never winning it for like, let's say 20 years. Or you are trash every year and then win 2 in those 20-year period. You know who this is? This is the Giants. This is the Giants. Pretty much.
I mean, that was us for a long time too. Tampa Bay. That was Tampa Bay for a long time too.
Right. Okay. Matter of fact, that's true. Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Tampa Bay was trash for a lot of y'all history. For a long time. But then you randomly got a fucking Super Bowl. What's that? Tony Dungy? Not Tony Dungy. I mean, John Gruden.
2003.
John Gruden. Yeah. Right.
I mean, our defense is rated as like one of the number 1 defenses of all time. So I mean, it was a different. We had like a ridiculous because that's how we won.
That's fine, but like that's fine, but like
people to score.
They were trash before.
Yeah, before
they were trash in between. They won one, and then were trash again, and then Tom Brady comes. They win one, and now they're gonna be trash again.
And now we're just. I mean, now it's like we barely got to the playoffs last season.
But now would you rather have that, or would you rather have had 20 years of Tampa Bay knocking on the door?
And not have one championship?
And not have one. 20 years. You might have one in the year 21. But to that 20-year period, nothing. You knock on the door every year. So like, you got a good team every year, solid. You go into the so basically what I'm saying, look, damn the Heat have been going to the freaking playoffs, like deep in the playoffs for a long time.
He's been going to the playoffs for a while, yeah.
Especially when we talk about like, let's say this recent era with Jimmy Butler era. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, we got to the finals with 3. Is it 2 or 3?
Twice. With him. With y'all.
Yeah, we got twice in 4 years.
I've been to the finals twice. Yeah, that's true. With Jimmy, I've been to the finals twice.
And then last year we were a bounce away. Jimmy got the shot up, clean look. You know what I mean? A bounce away.
Yeah, he just missed it. Yeah.
And so. But even then, it's like even if not the finals, we're winning the East. I think we won the East 3 out of the 4. Yeah. So like and
you're going to the play, and you guys are, and you're going pretty deep in the playoffs. If any team that gets to like the second round playoffs, that's still a winning season. That's still a successful
successful season.
Yeah, so that means you have a formula that works, and you can just build on that. Yeah.
And so. We've been having that, you know what I mean? And, you know, granted, we haven't won in a little bit, but like, what would you rather have?
So for me, I'll be honest, the name of the game is to get rings, man. So
so you'd rather be trash all those years
and get rings.
Man,
because at the end of the day, people remember the rings, man. That's what people remember. They remember the rings. We love AI, right?
We love AI. He ain't got no rings.
But you know why we love AI? Is because he shifted the culture.
Right, but that's his impact. We're talking about impact. Man. And I'm not saying impact ain't important.
If he didn't shift the culture,
impact ain't important. I'm not saying impact ain't important.
But that's why we love him, because he shifted.
But bro, you throwing in a whole other dynamic to the question.
No, but I'm telling you,
rings versus being a good. You know what I mean?
But I'm telling you why. Because it could be the same thing with teams. Like you'd be like, okay, we know this team has a winning culture, but they never get to it's like the Eagles or the Chiefs.
You know what? That's good. You know what?
Winning culture.
Okay,
so this it took them forever to, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, so that's kind of like where I was.
Okay, so here's why I originally brought up the question. No, not real. A couple different reasons, but I grew up a Miami Dolphins fan, and I ain't get nothing even close to this conversation. Because the dichotomy that I gave was you trash but you get a couple championships in between there, like the Giants or the Bucks.
Yeah.
Or you could be good, like you're good, and you're like going deep in playoffs, but you just never win the big
Never
one.
get there. Yeah, you never win
The
the big
Dolphins can't even give us either of those. They just been trash forever.
It's been a long time.
Ain't sprinkle no goodness in there. Ain't sprinkle no deep run in there. Ain't sprinkle a championship in there.
Since like 85, I think.
They haven't done squat. So at least this is why I gave up on them completely. So I'm not a Dolphins fan. I mean, I have the freaking scarlet letter. So I'm always own up to it and be like, yeah, if the NFL team that will be my team is the Dolphins. So it's a scarlet letter. I don't wear it proudly. I don't support them. I don't pay for anything on their websites and whatever, not unless it's something from Dwayne Wade or something like that, or I'm supporting maybe Jimmy Butler or something. But that's just for the players, not the team. I'm not. Well, my bad. That's the Heat. I got the Heat, but the Dolphins. I'm not buying Dolphins shit. I'm not buying Dolphins shit because you haven't at least made it exciting for me, dog. You haven't even done that. If you gave me 20 years of Dolphins exciting football, like going deep in playoffs,
I got a TB.
I could live with it. I could live with it. Yeah. I could still be a Dolphins fan today.
Yeah. You're
right. Because I know, like, you know what? They might get it this year. They might, because they're so close. I don't ever say might with the Dolphins. Even this last run that they had with Tua. You know what I mean? With Tua was freaking going, I think like 7 in a row or 8 in a row, something like that.
And the Dolphins had a legitimate contender.
Like, I was never. Our Dolphins is on some almost. I'll be like, nope, they're gonna let y'all down again. Watch it. And the season collapsed. Yeah, collapsed at the end of that season. Just completely collapsed.
That's not easy. That's a tough division though, ain't it? Like the AFC. What is it, FC South?
AFC East.
FC East, yeah.
And we had to contend with freaking Tom Brady for all those goddamn years with all those championships.
Yeah.
And then he leaves, and now the Bills putting in work.
The Bills, yeah.
Bill putting we can't. So I mean, the Jets always going to be just as trash as the Dolphins. So forget about them. But now the Bills putting in work, and Bill Parcells probably ain't done with us yet. All he needs is another quarterback. You know what I mean? And when I say quarterback, he don't need nobody elite. He turned Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't no first round pick.
Sure.
Yeah, turned Tom Brady to what he is. He turned Jimmy Garoppolo into an asset that freaking he faded out, but like he was really good. You know what I mean over there. You know what I mean, and several other people that played for him. You know. But the Dolphins don't give me shit to cheer about. They're a trash ass organization. They don't never win nothing. They don't even ever sniff the playoffs like they freaking finna do, and they always been that way. But all that to say, congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. NBA season is over, and I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with myself because I don't watch football. So there's a couple of tennis tournaments, and I think was it 2023? Damn, do we have World Cup this year?
Yeah, FIFA women's FIFA. I'm definitely gonna be locked in because the Haiti is there.
Okay, so we got that to look forward to. I guess in sports, and then but that's it. Then until basketball season comes back.
I mean you got the World Series to look towards like the MLB World Series later on.
Yeah, but that's I don't lock into
now. But
the college. Shout out to Florida, by the way, ranked number 2. They lost the first game, unfortunately.
We just smacked them today though.
Yeah. Oh, did they win today?
Yeah, 24-4. Put them boys in the dirt. Put them in the dirt.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we just smacked them today. Yeah. That first game was a fluke, but this game was like we're gonna turn up. We're gonna turn up 24.
Well, the thing is,
bro, we put them boys in the dirt. In the dirt. For real.
So the thing is like runs. But the thing is like, you know, I mean the Gators they're higher seed. You know what I mean? They're
we just had to figure them out. That's it. Yeah.
This is a baseball score.
Put the beats on.
No, I just saw a Major League Baseball score.
That was similar to that too. Yeah, going crazy. The Angels.
Yo, Angels did crazy. That to the Rockies, like 23-1 or some crazy joint.
Crazy.
Baseball score. That was nasty. That's nasty. I think they had an 18-run inning.
Yeah.
I bet niggas was going in the dugout killing themselves. Those pitchers. Hey, they had another pitcher. They had another pitcher lined up. All right. You go out there. How about you give it a try?
No, they probably had a water boy out there trying to strike them boys out. They were dinging everything. Bro. The A's were dinging everything.
So what you so if you're the first pitcher that gets pulled because they got, let's say, 4 runs on your while you know what I mean at bat, right? And you get pulled for they got 4 runs, and you're like, but it's not, come on, coach, let me get some up. Like, coach is like, bro, the not the coach, what they call him? They call him the freaking goddamn, what do they call him? The manager, it's just the manager, I guess. They call, right? So they get him, he pulls him.
Yeah.
He pulls somebody else in, and that first guy's like,
see,
yeah. You pull me, right? Yeah. And then that guy gets pulled. That guy's pulled. And he's like, damn, bro, that was like that. I mean, I was telling them. They put a third dude out there. You see? Niggas scored 18.
Yeah.
At which point, when you be like, coach, we ain't got it.
Like, yo, this ain't
it, coach. Out here. This ain't it. Yo, we need to forfeit that game. Yeah. No, so Florida got him 24-4. Yo, LSU was last game, dog. Them niggas was going so hard after that win. Mm-hmm. After a 1-point win,
they thought it was
in the 11th inning. Mm-hmm. In the 11th inning, a 1-point win. Oh, that's gotta hurt. They was celebrating, dog.
They thought, and this is what I was telling my man. Cause my man was trolling me yesterday, right? Oh, and I was like, bro, we number 2 for a reason, bro. I was like, wait till next game. And I showed him the score, and he was like, whatever, man. Yeah.
You got to be disheartened. And it's a 3-game series, so
and look, if you look at the score, it's the same score from yesterday. They got 4. LSU.
Oh, LSU, yeah. LSU got 4, just like yesterday.
So that lets you know it was just a bad game.
Them boy peaked out. Them boy peaked at 4.
Yeah, they peaked at 4.
So if you could beat 4, they got, so far they averaged the 4. So let's see. So the 3rd inning, they knocked out 6. They got 6 in the 3rd. They got 5 runs in the 6th. 4 in the 8th. Oh, in the 9th, you got 5 runs.
Yeah.
Stop. He's dead. He's already dead.
Everything. Yeah. So it's already dead. So it's like it's different, bro. It's like all right, we'll give y'all game 1. We'll give y'all game 1.
Ouch, bro.
Game 2, though. We're gonna make a statement. Yeah.
That's nasty. So there's 1 more to go, and so it ain't looking good for LSU because like the bats are hot at Florida.
Yeah.
Right now. Okay. Next up is this is all just a callback. Throwback. Just wrap up things that we talked about. So speaking of NBA, also, is just piggyback off of that. Michael Jordan sold his share. It's the majority holdings in for the Hornets. And that boy got $3 billion off of that.
Bro. Yo,
I think he bought it for like 150. I think he bought it for 150.
Bro, I was like, and that's the reason why I sent you. That's the reason why I sent you. One of the reasons why I even sent you that image of Jay-Z, and I was like, brother, rich just keep getting richer.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
And I was like,
money begets money.
Yeah,
money begets money,
bro.
Like it's like the thing about
crazy
poor people that is so unfair. The way the shit is up to them, like, is to having to acquire money, just acquire it.
Yeah,
right. Whereas the wealthy have money, right? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about starting line, right? Someone has money and someone has to acquire money, right? Once you have money, you really could put that shit on cruise control. You really could put that half of it in an interest-bearing account. You know what I mean? The other half just freaking on an ETF like that just follows the stock market. Don't even nothing fancy. Just don't even have to pick them. Just put it in mutual fund. Don't even pick it out. Just like boom, just one. Oh, this follows the stock market. Boom, just put it in there. It don't do nothing. And you're gonna be richer 10 years from now.
Absolutely.
You're gonna double your money 10 years from now. Absolutely. Because money begets money. Just like that. You don't even have to do any investing. So Jordan, bought his it's not that it's that wise. Is it wise? Is it business savvy to buy the fucking Hornets? No, nigga. No. If I had money, I'd buy the Heat.
Especially at the time that he bought it. Especially at the time that he bought it.
It's not wise. It's not smart. It's not anything freaking creative that he did. Oh, what was creative?
Ingenious or anything.
It wasn't ingenious. Nothing like that. You know what's creative is what Ice Cube did with the Big Three.
With the 3v3. Yeah,
that's inventing something. That's creating, seeing a niche in the market, knowing that the summertime is going. By the way, that's what I'm going to be watching. I'm going to watch the Big Three too, because that should be fun. 3-on-3, you know what I mean?
It's blown up too.
Yeah, 3-on-3, and these cats.
Cube saw something. He was like, "Yo, this could work."
Yeah, and it's in the summer when like there's no NBA, there's G League, but like this could be complementary to that.
There's even TBT, the basketball tournament. That's another thing that happens too. We have like Similar to like 3v3, where it's like, but it's like a regulated program, which is another thing that's happened. You have a bunch of pro-am leagues.
But like you got, it's hard to find some of these things, so they need to make it more accessible to people.
Yeah,
which I'm sure they're trying. You know,
Cube
isn't getting, he ain't getting as much love on, like, ESPN should be running it. You ain't got nothing else going on, ESPN.
But ESPN, I thought he had it like on ESPN 3 plus, I think, or something like ESPN Plus or something like that.
I don't think it was on network. It might have been. It was on some weird networks, and there's like a lot of it on YouTube. You can watch YouTube, but even YouTube, bro, y'all got a TV service. YouTube, y'all should sign him.
Yeah,
sign him to a deal. You know what I mean? And just like boom, go on YouTube, and you can watch it whenever, and you can watch live freaking big three games on there. But all that to say, you know, Jordan came up. And some of the shares actually J. Cole bought. You know what I mean? So now J. Cole's a minority owner, which cool for him because he's always.
I like J. Cole. I'm happy.
Yeah, he's always been into the NBA and into basketball. He himself, I think, tried. He might have got like a 10-day somewhere or something like that.
Somewhere like a little 10-day for like I think what was it, like a G League squad? I think like a G League squad or
something like that. You know what I mean? So shout out to him for actually, you know, getting a stake in ownership. And
not a lot of guys can say that. But like, hey, at least I got a 10-day in the G League. Not a lot of guys can say that, so that's dope.
Yeah,
it's dope to have that on his belt.
It's dope to have that on his resume, and he's versatile. You know what I mean? So that's dope that he can tap into that, and it's a passion for him. So for him to have the opportunity to do that, so that's dope for J. Cole. And you know, the opportunity came available because Jordan sold his stake. So cool. Shout to them. Killer, I want to mention something else. Something about Killer Mike. He was last week
for the interview on Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he's done interviews all over the place all the time. You know what I mean? He's an interesting dude. He's a smart guy. He's educated. He still has his perspective on some stuff and his approach to different things that maybe you might agree or disagree with. But you can't. It's not for him being ignorant on anything. He's very smart, intelligent, well read. You know what I mean? And he will freaking spit out, you know what I mean, the history off the dome, you know what I mean, on certain things, on particularly the Atlanta area and just Black history in general. So shout out to him. And that was the vibes that we had last week. And so what I particularly wanted to bring him up for is, like, every time I hear him and, you know, on a new record or anything, any project that he's on, I'm reminded that dude is just built for this shit. That dude is built for rapping, for rhyming. Like just was like,
all right.
Like there's some people that are built for it as an art form. You know what I mean? And then there's people that are, you know, in the art industry, in the rap industry, in the rap genre, that they're good entertainers. They have good teams around them. You know, they have a good ear, so they can know how, like, oh, this sound like it will slap, so let's put this together and have good production and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But when it comes to the poetry and the cadence, the presence, the storytelling, the art form of rapping, that thing, I have a top 5. I have a top 5, and I'm going to say that now.
I'm interested in hearing what that is.
Okay, so I do want to clarify and say I'm not saying these is the top 5 rappers of all time. I'm not going to say these are my favorite top 5 hip hop artists or rappers. No, I'm talking about in terms of the art and poetry of rapping and rap performance. This is my top 5. Number 1 of all time.
Before you get into that, how would you define that though?
I just did.
Because
the art, because I feel like I just described it. So I talked about cadence. I talked about flow. Right, I talked about flow. I talked about rhyme scheme. Right, I talked about stage presence. You know what I mean? A presentation of using your voice as an instrument type of thing. Right, even so all those are some characteristics of that. Okay. Versus, right. and what I was saying to help solidify the image is talking about artists that are you know, they have a good team. They have good writers. They have good production. They have good ear, so to make them, like,
to help with the presentation of
and so they kind of know what sounds good. So they, you know, they do all that. But in terms of, like, the art itself of rapping, like putting these words together, stringing them along to be poetry, what I'm calling poetry, that's different. That's different. That's the specific list that I want to form right here. And on top of that list is Black Thought. The top of that list is Black Thought.
I'll give you that.
When you ask anybody about their favorite rappers of all time, or like when you ask them, oh, name the top rappers of all time, top 3, top 5, right? You'll get the typical Jay-Z, Biggie. You'll get people come in with Tupac. You'll have some people that will say, Big Daddy Kane, or somebody will slide in. Maybe they'll even say Missy Elliott, you know what I mean, or something, or Andre, you know.
I never heard anybody say Missy
So
Elliott,
this
but
is
I
all
understand what you're saying,
performances,
though.
and this is all albums. This is all body of work. I'm not talking about that. I'm
Gotcha.
talking about specifically the art of and poetry of rapping, right? So Black Thought, number 1 on the list. People will say their list of all this other stuff, but you'll never hear them say Black Thought.
Really?
They'll never say the Roots. I've never heard anybody say put Black Thought in top 5 on best rappers of all time. Now, again, this is not the best rappers of all time list.
On that
but
list,
I'm just saying,
when you say best rapper of all time, I don't
right. But like, could you imagine though? Like, he's never been on the list of best rappers of all time.
I hear people say that when they talk about lyricists, though. When they talk about best lyricists, I hear.
But isn't that crazy? Like, we give him that crown.
Yeah.
But like, he's never been top. You never call him. Nobody ever calls him top 5 rappers of all time. And that's
because rap constitutes so much more than lyrics.
Exactly.
So
I
understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So Black Thought, number 1, right? Matter of fact, you know what? I don't even know I'm gonna put this in order. I don't have this in order, but I know Black Thought is number 1. Everybody else is 2 through 5, right? 2 through 5. Nas is on there, right? As much as people hate on his music, as much as they hate on his song selection, his beat selection, all stuff. We're not making that list. This list is the art of poetry and rap. Nas is on that list. Nas is top 5 for me. Killer Mike is on this list. Like, you got, like, when you hear Killer Mike put these verses together,
saying a lot,
and everything he does in terms of the poetry of rapping.
I'll be honest. I don't think people will put him in that top 5 though.
Nah, bro. Like,
I never heard anybody.
He might be 2. He might be 2. Wow. He might be number 2.
Okay.
Right. Lupe Fiasco. For me, this is under the radar. It's a sneaky pick. I get it.
It is a sneaky pick.
It could be controversial, but
highly.
Go listen. Go listen to this dude. Like, it's like the definition of conscious rap. Of what you call it's like when you like Common, you know, when you go on the dictionary, you look up conscious, it's a picture of Common.
It's Common, yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of so granted that, but like, yo, he's of that mode. Lupe Fiasco of that mode, like
there as well, but
yeah, you know, and Lupe has like he builds stories. Lupe builds stories.
Let me hit you with this though. You put him over Talib Kweli when it comes to that?
Yes, I will, because
really?
Yes, because
interesting. Okay.
Because thematically, I don't even know he still go by Talib Kweli anymore. Isn't it something? I forgot. He changed his name.
He changed his name. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I forgot what that was. But he's a lot of, he like repeats a lot of the same thematic, you know, the same kind of things, right? Yeah, he doesn't really like branch out too much. Like I don't know if I've ever heard a concept album from him. He's very niche, you know what I mean? And so he can lose some interest, because I mean, so that's why I wouldn't put somebody like Common up there, although he's good in his words and in terms of like end up making them rhyme and flow and interesting, throwing rhymes in different places, and like also the story still makes sense kind of thing. Some of his stuff can be not incoherent, but like you're jumping between thoughts sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about that? What's that got to do with this? I get it, it rhymes and it kind of flows nicely, but it ain't really like your storytelling. And granted, you ain't got to be that to be a rapper. Yeah, but that's what sets these other cats apart. You know what I mean? They have coherent stories that are running through some of these songs. You know, these verses are just like brilliant. I thought of an honorable mention to be somebody like Eminem, which just like dances with words, like flows with words. But like, I will put him honorable mention because he too can be rather one note. You know what I mean? He doesn't give us a lot of variety and showing how, bro, you can do whatever you want with words. You're a wordsmith. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put him like that. He has interesting style and cadence that he's unique to. But like Black Thought will like bounce around from like, you know, one of the other completely other. This is Phonte, this dude from which he's featured in our vibes today. But
Gotcha.
He'll say, he said he has a line that goes, I said that whole last verse. He said, I said all that to say this, and my verse didn't even rhyme. That was a bar. Like he said the whole, I was like, wait a minute. He wasn't rhyming. I had to go back and listen to it. I was like, but this shit goes hard. Like, what the fuck? How? How did you do this? It wasn't even rhyming. You know what I mean? Black Thought will do shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
J. Cole would do stuff like that too. Because J. Cole, he's another guy. I think that part of his ability is underrated.
Yeah, you got to go back and be like, yo, what did this nigga say? Yeah. Holy shit! You go back and this nigga just said that. Black Thought had a line, bro. I wrote it. I put it on my wall. He said, y'all married to money, but you're going through a divorce. I was like, oh, that's cold. That's cold.
Decent.
It's cold. It's cold, dog. And so Lupe Fiasco, and rounding up on the back end is Big. Right, we're talking about the art and rap of poetry. Like and when in the other list of best rappers of all time, I would never put Biggie Smalls top 10.
Is it because his catalog is
his catalog? I'm sorry, it ain't your fault.
I already knew what it was.
But you need more work. You need more work. I can't do it.
I already knew.
I can't do it. There's too many other great rappers that had the longevity that stood. And matter of fact, I can't.
That's why he's not top 5. That's why he's not in my top 5 either, because
he can't be. You just you had a couple great out. You know, they were great. You know what I mean? You get and you know you had features and other stuff, and you had a team with Junior Mafia and all that stuff. You know, you did music with them and stuff too. But that catalog was just like very like. There's way too many other artists out there that have been putting in work, and I'm not giving them a pass just for longevity, but I'm talking about putting out quality stuff for a long ass period of time. For a minute, and Jay-Z's number one on that list for me, right? Because he's putting out quality stuff. His music is great, and his lyrics is great too.
For me, that was Wayne. For me, that was.
I wouldn't put Jay-Z on this specific poetry lyrical for all time top 5, but I could put I even put for this list that I'm making. I put Jay-Z top 10. You know, and Wayne, I'll put Wayne on 10 for this specific kind of like dude is just freaking flowing with the wind and moving like water with these words. You know, I put some of these up there. Eminem, I would put top 10, you know, but in the top 5. So that's so Black Thought, number 1, and then 2 through 5 is Nas, Killer Mike, Lupe, and Big. If you agree, disagree, you know, let me know in the comments.
It is what it is.
But it is what it is. To wrap up this long ass throwback section, we would not be intellectually honest if we didn't go back and touch on the Jonathan Major news that we've been updated on. Because when we first talked about it, you know, we were still skeptical even back then. You know, we didn't go out on a limb and say, yo, he did it, fuck him forever, or anything like that. We didn't say anything like that. I actually heard feedback from some people that I was like, you know, go back and listen to our tape, you know what I mean, or our recording. Because I was being misconstrued what I was saying, and they went back and I said, here's the clip, listen to what we were saying, and we couched it all, and if he did this would be kind of crazy, you know. And we were saying,
that's how we always described it,
and we explicitly said, I hope he didn't do it. I hope he didn't do it. I hope this is true. We were saying that, right? But we were also giving space for believe, you know, he listening to women. I'm not saying exactly specifically that just go believe women or believe people or whoever, believe victim, no questions asked, but listen to them, give them an ear. You know what I mean? Hear what they gotta say. Don't you? No, I don't want to hear you. You ain't. No.
Yeah.
Listen to them.
You gotta.
Hear the evidence. Hear what they gotta say, and then investigate. You know. And so what's been happening now is Jonathan Majors has a court date that's been set for sometime in August. But before that, some of the evidence that will be admitted in court, what will be presented in court, has come out, right? And my man Jonathan Majors looks like he's been vindicated. It looks like the army might owe my man's a check, because they canceled that boy contract.
Mhm.
It's still got to go through court,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Vegas has gambling for a reason. Because I could go bet on this, and I
Mhm.
think I'll put some money in that, like, he's going to be found not guilty. You know, and that's it. And in the court system, there's no such thing as being found innocent. So stop it with that foolishness, you slow ass people out there that
Yeah.
say it's gonna be found innocent. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
It's
I know what you were trying to say, but like, stop saying that. It's wrong.
yeah.
Okay,
It's
it's wrong.
stupid.
He's not gonna be. He's gonna be found not guilty of these charges, bro. They got footage of homegirl, of Shorty, going to the club after the so-called interaction. Going to the club, partying up, and talk about her ear was fine, her fingers was fine. Well, at least we could, from what they show on the tape, it's not like, you know what I mean? When she was like touching people and handing out and getting drinks and holding onto the railing and doing stuff and high fiving people and shit like that. No, you wasn't like, ow, my fingers hurt. No, the video shows that you were just like living it up and doing whatever. And like at any point, you weren't like having you was like holding your ear. I don't know. That video was crazy, right? Second of all, the cops have body cam, right? Yes. Well, actually, before that, Jonathan Majors, by the way, is the one that called the cops, right? Okay, they got body cam. They come into body cam and like they're okay. Well, you know what? Let me save that for last because this is some bullshit. And there was some of the driver. The driver says like, no, I can corroborate that he didn't put hands on her. Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And then he's getting out the car. He's trying to get out the car. She's grabbing onto his. They have witnesses for this now. I'm sorry, they're witnesses. People, I'm betting on this in Vegas. They got witnesses. While he's trying to get out the car, get away from her, she's grabbing at him, trying to get him back into the car to the point where his coat ripped. Yeah, his coat ripped, and they have witnesses that see this. And then some fans recognize him on the street now, where he just got out the car and like, oh my God, it's Jonathan Majors. Can we take a picture? He takes a selfie with them. You know what I mean? He takes a selfie with them. So he's still being like gentlemanly and being like, he's not looking. He's not. Imagine if he was just beating off on this, this lady's
he'd be
ear
a
and
whole
hand.
mindset.
He'd be all different mindset. Like, get off me, man! I ain't trying to take selfies, nothing like that. He takes the selfies with them, right? And so what he does is allegedly, I don't even know, bro. He's saying he went to a hotel. He went to a hotel. You know what I mean? She goes to a party. She parties it up, and then eventually goes back to his apartment. They come through. He gets the landlord, or no, not landlord, the maintenance man, the maintenance guy, to let him in because he was locked out. Yeah. So now mind you, he's got the maintenance guy and him going to the apartment to find allegedly homegirl passed out in the closet, drunk and on sleeping pills. Because remember, she was just partying it up. And so that's another witness. Is the maintenance man could be like, we saw her. And then like, okay, so here's the fucked up part. Even more fucked up. Why and why Shorty is this is such a twist on this story. I didn't see this coming. But she's not really fully to blame. You know who's to blame? A theme that we had from the season 1. The fucking cops. It's the goddamn cop. I said this before, we all, white people alike, they be beating y'all and shooting y'all at higher numbers than y'all think. Black people, we already know what time it is.
Facts.
And so the common denominator is the goddamn cops. So in the body cam, you can hear the cops coaching her. When she first comes to, and they're getting a report, and the cops were like, what's going on? What's the story? She's like, I don't know what happened. She's like, what happened to my finger? What happened to my ear? She doesn't even know. She's like, what happened? And like, through the interaction, the cops were like coaching her, like, you sure, you sure you didn't have any altercation with, this gentleman here, you sure? Are you sure? You good? You know what I mean? Like, was there any physical interaction between, like, they're coaching her through this shit. So eventually she's like, probably, Yeah, yeah, we did have something earlier. It got physical early. Or maybe, you know what I mean? Like, however she said it, I'm kind of speculating there, but like they're gonna show this evidence in court.
Yeah.
Evidence that they're planning on showing in court. So like, are they making this up? Am I making this up? Like, apparently this is what they're gonna present. These fucking cops then go arrest Jonathan Majors. Mind you, he's the one that called them there.
Yeah.
Because he's concerned about this human who is like passed out, and also maybe it could be some self-interest too. Be like, yo, I don't want nothing to do with this. Let me call the authorities. Trying to keep himself from that beef, and inevitably he got drugged all the way through it anyways.
Crazy.
One of the things I said last time was it sucks. It's especially if he is innocent, because you still got that stain.
Yeah,
that you gotta still wash off.
It
can eventually wash off, but you gotta wash that bit off. That's it. Years sometimes.
Still gonna be there. Still gonna be there.
Because not everybody's gonna hear this clip.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna know that. No, he was. You know, he was vindicated. He was exonerated. Like,
and the crazy thing is, he actually did what he was supposed to do.
He did what he was
to free himself from this particular situation, and it's still
got his ass.
Still staying this right, bruh.
Still nigga.
For real.
Like Jay-Z said, I'm not black, I'm Jonathan Majors. No, you still nothing, nigga.
Bro, that's crazy. So and this is why and I'm gonna hit you with a crazy little twist here too. This is why these guys in this manosphere space has legs to stand on.
Well, hold on, no, wait. I'm gonna pause right now. I have to. Because I specifically got away from that to go to the cops part. So I'm not blaming the manosphere because so just make sure we're clear on that part.
Oh yeah, no, sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I absolutely understand that. But that's why they have a leg to stand on.
So they're going to
complain about that. So
they're going to just use that woman being influenced by the cops as fodder to be like, these bitches be lying.
And the Travis Rudolph, the situation with the Travis Rudolph situation. Of course, all it takes is just one or two incidences, and so you can't like
even all the thousands of times that women getting their ass beat, you know what I mean? Ray Rice's situation type shit, and raped and stuff, and touched and groped and harassed. Thousands of times that happened. Like they don't count those as data points. It's just the one or two times.
it's the few times
the shit gets squishy.
That's gonna give them
and they're gonna cover all the other sins of mankind off of that bit. It's fucking bullshit.
That's just and that's how, especially in social media, that's how I go.
But like, bro, so I wish people would just be more intellectually honest, you know. And so us bringing this back up is us being intellectually honest to say, hey, we talked about it. You know what I mean? When he was, you know, we helped perpetuate. You know what I mean? The story, not that we were perpetuating the story that he was guilty of. We didn't do that, the accusation, but we helped the story have legs as well. And now we're back to correcting that record to be like, so here's the end of that story is, you know, this is what, and we don't know the complete end yet, but it's a pretty good chance that the end is going to work out for Jonathan Majors, at least legally. But he's still going to have to work on, and I'm so happy that it, because I was hoping it wasn't true, you know. And it sucks that it sucks when any relationship has to end so violently and so and with so much consternation. It's like, bro, shit ain't working out for us. Let's you know, you go that way, I go this way, and just like you know, call it a day. But to have like this baggage that you have to now take, you know, with you.
I think it is a bad way to go. You know, as far as when you're severing ties in a relationship, I think she represents a certain type of woman too that seems to find themselves in these type of spaces, like dealing with the Jonathan Major, these celebrity types. And like I said this before, where I was like, as a celebrity, bro, as a name, you really have to move a certain type of way, man. Like you, because you
can't move regular no more, bro. You gotta vet people. This is why Beyonce and Jay-Z don't ever be no beef outside, no, because they make everybody sign NDAs.
Yeah.
Everybody sign an NDA.
Facts. You have to move a different type of way, man.
You'll never see him out in these streets. You'll never see him nowhere.
At all. Like you really got to be careful because because some of these people who they'll end up in a relationship with some of these folks, they get used to the life or the notoriety, and they, you know, and that could have been part of like, I'm connected with this guy in a certain way. I don't want that to end. So that could be part of fueling why she reacted that way. It could be a lot of different things, right? But but these are things that, as a person of influence who has a large platform or who's a celebrity, whatever, like these are things you have to think about constantly. You have to be aware of people in your circle, in your spaces. Like the threat of this happening is much higher for a person like you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you can be a target. So, but that's what the manosphere people would say is, he's a target. They'll be like, he's a target because he got money. Niggas got money. They're like, oh, they make a target. So there's types of women that'll try to, they'll try to go fishing, go spear fishing. You know what I mean? And try to land with. Yeah. They're purposely trying to get pregnant. They making holes in condoms and stuff. It might have happened once or twice to different people, but like, it's not. There's no reason to like freaking paint with a broad brush the whole.
Oh no, of course not, of course not.
I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm saying that's.
I'm saying as a celebrity. I'm saying as a celebrity for you.
But even as a celebrity, you gotta move different. But like you tend to move with other celebrities generally. So you're in your own cohort. You're within your cohort. Yeah. It's one thing for somebody that's trying to see you as a lick. You ain't really a lick to somebody who's already like. Got really? Money like that. You can't. You might still be a little bit of a lick, but I mean,
I feel like it may be okay. So let me.
The last thing I'll say about it is that even as a male celebrity or female celebrity, it's still on you. Female, it's still on you to make your decisions on who you take into your house, into your bed.
Yeah,
that's on you. So even if they see you as a lick, it's up to you to be a John. That's on you. If you end up being a John, that's on you.
Yeah,
played yourself.
Yeah, I just that's. I mean, honestly, if I was in their position, that's how I would look at it. I would look at it as like, yo, unless it's somebody like I've known for a while or that I've built with for a long time, then that's different, right? But like, if it's and I don't know their relationship, right? But I'm just saying, I think that should be like a general thing that these people, if you're a person of influence, wealth, or whatever. Yeah. You should be moving
male. You're right. Male or female.
You should be moving.
People are going to be looking to take advantage of you. People are going to look. Absolutely. There's going to be out there. Not everybody, but those people are going to be lying.
Bro, this is America, bro. This is America. Yes, like this is America. This is a capitalistic society. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, you were lit, bro. Like, so you have to move a certain type of way, for real. Like, you just have to have a heightened awareness of that when you reach certain statuses or whatever. That's all I'm saying about it. But with that being said, this wouldn't be Challenge Day without challenges.
Yeah, okay, right. So Jonathan Majors is getting over one of his challenges. I got challenges too, Jonathan. Not on that level, but it does kind of correlate that he's having people problems.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Yes,
Jonathan Majors
and a lot of what I was saying is about standards, having certain standards or parameters. Right. So what do you have to say about that?
So it's not that I'm having people problems. But I'm having this is gonna sound so bad.
It kind of sounds like
it's gonna sound so bad. God, this is gonna sound so bad. I know it. I know. I'm gonna say it. So I could be like, I just want to be brutally honest. It's gonna sound so terrible, dog.
Based on the last episode, I don't know, man. So like,
no, it could be related to that. It could not relate to that. But I think I have way too high expectations of people, dog.
You know what? Probably.
I think I have way too high expectations of people. Probably. And by that, I mean, I think most people are mediocre. And I need to like realize that.
It's fair.
And be like, yo, you Darwin, man. And not to say
in ways that you probably find more valuable. Right, things that you think they should care about, mediocre in those ways. But in general,
I'm talking about the human population has a lot of mediocre standards of being a whole human, like being like a whole person, right?
Okay.
Where are you getting at? But the thing is, I approach people like I feel like before, like I'm expecting this before I get like this person. I expect somebody to be like, oh, this is gonna be a good dude, or this is gonna be a solid person. This person's gonna have their head on straight. You know what I mean? Before I even, you know what I mean, like really engage them, and because I'm like, it just makes sense, right? I'm like, it just makes sense. So like I'm like, if you're standing in line at a grocery store, right?
That's where you and I differ, definitely.
If you're standing in line in the grocery store, and if you're standing in line in the grocery store,
yeah,
and the line, because I've done this at fucking Home Depot, they got a terrible queue system when you queue up to get into the register or whatever.
Weird.
Yeah, and so
it's weird.
Sometimes it might be fuzzy, who's kind of in front, who's behind, you know what I mean? But like, it's interesting to be like, around. When I kind of get there a little bit earlier, I got there a little bit, you know I got here before you kind of thing. And then like somebody goes, next up, right? And the person tries to go. It's like, I'm like, that won't be me, because I'm gonna say something to this dude. But like, people do that, right? They go like, wait a minute, you know I was here before you.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? Yeah. What are you doing? Like that's just like the standards of decency, you know what I mean? Of courtesy.
It's like when people steal parking spaces.
Yeah, even that, you know what I mean? Like
when they see you get the signal on, but then they
oh, but check it out. But that's the thing about driving. That's the thing about driving in general, is that part of the reason that we're able to do this shit is because we're like, I'm gonna trust that car to have some common sense, to have some common decency, and like, and to like not change lanes. And no, I know you're in that lane. Fuck you, nigga, and like ram his car and push me off the lane. Because also I know like he wants to take care of his car, right? Because also like, oh, he got some place to be, right? That's why he's on the road. He's got to go somewhere. He don't want to waste his time getting in accidents with me. Sure. You know, that's what. So I'm thinking like, you're thinking of something, but then you see this nigga with the fucking Fast and Furious coming around. What the fuck? You see all the rest of us?
Yeah.
That happens. Yeah. So it's like, I need to realize that these standards that I'm holding people to, that I'm thinking could be like, maybe it's fictional, maybe it's just internalized, maybe I'm thinking that everybody should approach certain things at a high level of scrutiny, when certain things they're like, nah, that one I don't care about. This other thing I might care about. This I don't care about. And I'll say for myself, I want to be better. I have a desire to do better and be a better version of myself daily. And so is that not a thing for everybody? I don't think it's a thing for everybody.
Nope.
I'd be wrong as hell sometimes.
Definitely not.
But guess what? Tomorrow, I'm not going to be wrong on that same shit, because I'm learning. I'm getting better. I could be wrong today. Some stuff I just said. I'm not saying I'm the smartest. I'm not saying I'm the most empathetic. I'm not saying I'm the most athletic. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but like in terms of like holding myself to a high standard, I do. I kick myself sometimes when I fuck shit up. You know, like, God dang. You know, some people just like don't even fucking care. They don't even see it. They don't even like acknowledge it, or they don't even like learn from it, or they just like, oh, they fucked up, and they just like go on to the next thing without like taking a beat to like learn a lesson, to like be better next and to evolve. I don't get that. And with that said, I think it's time I look back in this new lens at probably some old relationships and be like, they're doing their best. That's what they hit. That was their best.
Man, that's a mindset shift to make. That's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be very difficult to like to shift your mind to now.
There's some people I'm thinking about. I'm like,
from that way
I'm like, man, like I really got off of you because like I feel like you were stagnant, or you were just like the same you from many years ago, that you're not growing. I don't see your growth. And also it's like, as I'm getting to I feel like more and more to a higher level of self-awareness, you still lacking that mirror, you know, and it's really hard for me to cope with that. And so that kind of grew me apart from certain relationships,
Sure.
grew some distance in certain relationships. Um, and maybe it's me not having enough grace to be like, hey, people evolve at different paces, or actually people evolve into different things. Not to say that we're evolving to the same thing, or I'm evolving in one line and everybody needs to come to my line. I'm not saying that. I mean, but I'm getting better as a person overall, and you're getting better as a person overall too over here. And we become better together. And I can see that. Oh, you're doing it that way, but you're doing it though. You know what I mean? Nice. You know what I mean? I'm doing it this way, and hey, check me out. You know what I mean? I'm proud of myself. Yeah. Yesterday, was it past me? You know what I mean? It's proud of who present me is. Can you say that about your past you, or are you still that same past you? Yeah. And so if you're a person like that, and so it's hard for me to deal with it. So now, I have to revisit some of these and look back at it and be like, that's just their journey. And I can't judge them by what standards necessarily that I've set.
You don't think that's too easy though?
Easy what?
Like that's just their journey. Like, what if they've always been like that? It's just
I'll be honest. Yeah, there's room for that honest truth where it's just like some people are.
Some people hide who they are really well.
No, I'm not going there with it. I was just gonna say some people may be helpless.
That's
some people may be helpless. Maybe.
I mean,
bro, I really don't.
Possibility. Yeah.
I really feel like no, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't.
You would be going against your nature, so I get honest.
I can't. That would be completely against my nature. Somebody that has help that can be helped, that can be coached, that have their own growth. You know what I mean? That they're actually showing progress. They have hope. Then yeah, I could rock with you. But if you are helpless, dog, like. No, I can't. That's like we're just too far apart. We're too far apart.
Yeah, fair.
Something like, for example, if I had a friend that was a prison recidivist, it's like once or twice. I got you, dog. We with you. Let's work through this. You know what I mean? And then like, do you learn from those mistakes? And and then like,
yeah, but if you stay going in that bit,
going in and out, bro, it's like we're not in the same universe, bro. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not. And I get the system is stacked against you. So yeah, I'll give you one or two. I'm black too. I give you one or two. You know what I mean? I could be arrested any day now. I'm waiting on it. You know what I mean? I could just cause statistics.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I give you one or two. You know what I mean? That's human.
You know what's so.
But that other universe, bro, is not me.
Yeah. No facts. You know what that made me think about? Like I was thinking about this the other day too, because I was just like, it's annoying to me that it feels like I have to really try to. Like, have to be really intentional about just how I live my life to stay out of prison. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it feels so crazy to say that because I'm like, bro, like I'm the most like chill person and like straightforward. I do everything by the book, but like, why do I have to try to do that?
Because you're black in America.
I could just be walking down the street and somebody like, hey,
black in America.
Like,
we haven't pulled someone over for jaywalking in 20 years. But you today, niggas, today's your lucky day.
Bro, I don't know why I even thought about it, but like the other day I was just thinking about it and I was like, this is exhausting, bro. Like, why do I even have to expend energy on like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is it's so crazy. It's so crazy that you said that because I was thinking about it today. I was like, bro, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. And my record is super clean, squeaky clean. You know what I'm saying?
But even you still like, hey, could be me.
But even me, I'm
already.
Like,
I don't know. Like, yeah. I
one thing a long time or something like that. Just
walking down the street. You could be Jonathan Majors,
bro. You know what I'm saying? Like really, bro. Come on, man.
You could be Jonathan Majors, just like that. That boy's really trying to stay out the way. That boy's really trying to stay out the way.
And I'm just being like very transparent with you, bro. Like it's really unnerving, bro. Just being black, bro. Like it's really unnerving, bro. Because it's like the things I've accomplished in my life, how well educated I am, the certifications I'm a very successful individual. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually picked myself up, by the bootstraps and tried in life and attained
Now,
something.
now imagine now. You remember
what I'm
somebody like
saying?
this nigga trying because that's you trying, right? And so imagine
Bro,
now,
that's
you
crazy,
got
bro.
somebody who's not trying, like not even trying, like you can't, and they're like, you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I can't. Like I can only if I see
Yeah.
you trying. If I see you trying,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Then let's rock out. But like if we not, we ain't got no, we can't even we can't relate. Oh, we can't relate.
Yeah. That's crazy.
You
That's
know.
crazy.
But so for those cats out there that are trying, and that I judged too harshly because I didn't have enough grace. I'm sorry. Man, punctuality is a big thing for me, dog. Somebody who just doesn't give a shit about being punctual for like that standard. Be like, okay, Darwin.
Yeah.
There's standard for being punctual is not exactly you gotta like you relax over that, give some grace. And it's like, how long do I if I'm patient, how long do I exercise that patient kind of? So I got to work on all that work on the giving grace, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge for me to do that. And
Yes.
But man, that's where I'm at. What you got?
Man, I can relate to that, man. Having expectations for people, or at least having reasonable expectations for people to have at least a basic fundamental understanding or practice of just standard
Operating
human decency,
in a social
right?
environment.
Just operating, just having at least some sense
we out
of
here as a community, as a tribe, as
yeah.
we're a social species.
But there are people who just don't care as much. And and it's not a few people. There's a lot more people than you expect that just don't care as much. They just don't. They just don't. Like, you know what? Average is good enough for me, so I'm rocking. I'm rocking. So I got to a space that I like, or a plateau. Not even a plateau. I got to where I wanted to get to.
You're comfortable. You're on the treadmill.
I'm comfortable. I'm rocking, and it's like. But unfortunately, that particular standard is not that high. it's just not that. It is what it is. But so I can understand that. For me in particular, though, as far as the challenge goes, I thought I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was moving like a shinobi out here, but that COVID got me, man. That joy got me.
What do you mean? What do you mean it got you? Like, it's 2023. Well,
yeah, because it's so. I've done a very good job.
Have you never had COVID?
I've never had COVID.
It's 2023, nigga. What?
2023, man. Never had COVID, man.
It's
I was that nice with it. I was that nice with it.
You sure you didn't have like something back and you were like, oh, maybe it's just a cold? And maybe it might have been COVID though.
I'm trying to tell you, I would take tests constantly. I have a bunch of times consistently. Clean and clear, I was good. There were times where I thought I had it, and it turned out to just be like a cold, or it may be like
you tested during those times.
During those times, every single time, because obviously, because it's on your mind, because we went through a pandemic, so it's like, so of course you're gonna test it. So like, bro,
COVID for the first time.
For the first time, man. Like I thought I was nice out here, but apparently, it caught up to me.
So you good now?
Up to me. Yeah, I'm good now. But of course, I took proactive measures. You know what I'm saying? Like I took the advice of CDC and all these different things to like protect yourself against this particular thing. And I was good for a long time. And I don't know, maybe
did you get the booster?
Yeah, I got the booster. But I got caught slipping at the airport, man.
The airport.
The airport got me.
Airport's gonna get you every time.
Airport got me.
You're in a freaking tube.
Yeah, I got caught slipping, man. I ain't gonna lie. And it didn't dawn on me.
You didn't wear a mask on the plane, did you?
No, on the plane. I can't
do it. I don't trust y'all niggas. On the plane, I don't trust y'all niggas. I can't do it. You know what the thing is? It's not even for COVID. For me, it's not even for fucking COVID. It's for anything. COVID just made me aware, hyper aware. Like, bro, I don't want none of the things y'all got. I don't want none of the things y'all niggas got out there. Y'all can keep all that.
You know what's crazy? I had my mask with me too. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I had it with me. It was in my bag. It just wasn't on my mind. I guess in my head I was just thinking about like excited for the trip or whatever, and I'm about to
Yeah.
go somewhere. It just didn't dawn on me. I was
But
just chilling.
I keep that. If I'm going
But
on that freaking tube and I'm gonna be
yeah,
stuck in that thing for hours,
yeah,
breathing in yo nasty shit, and the dude behind me who breathing all heavy, all in
facts,
my atmosphere,
facts.
and then this shit's being recirculated. I don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck they say they got technology they got going on inside the vents.
yeah. Talking
Or
about
not,
they had like,
and some of them be bullshit because turns out
yeah,
some
they
of that
do,
stuff
yeah.
didn't do anything.
So
Some of that
yeah,
stuff
facts,
because
facts.
especially some of the light stuff,
Mm,
like they had some light. Oh, we have lights in our
mm,
air ducts, and
mm,
like, wait a minute, the air molecules. So it turns out they studied that, and the light would have to be like on a, like, for example, your phone, right? You
mm,
could put like the light on your phone
mm,
for like an hour,
mm-hmm,
right, on a steady object, right?
mm-hmm.
But this is an air duct. The air is flowing through the damn
Yes, yeah,
molecule.
it's moving
It's
around. Yeah.
gone. It ain't sitting
Yep,
around waiting for this light to disinfect it. It's flowing right through. So
absolutely.
that shit was doing nothing. It was all performative.
Mm,
All that
mm,
shit was all fucking performative.
mm.
And so I'm not. Oh, it's just so icky just to think about breathing in these motherfuckers with all their goddamn hepatitis and shit and
Yeah,
tuberculosis and
bro.
black lung if they got it. I don't want none of that shit.
Bro.
I don't got
If,
vaccines to get all that. I got vaccines for most of that stuff. Military
yeah,
shot me the fuck up with everything. So
yeah,
like,
military.
I've
That's
been
a whole
vaccinated.
different.
That's another thing. You motherfucking people out there in the military, they want to get vaccinated. Y'all full of shit.
Y'all
Because
crazy. Yeah. All
at
y'all.
boot camp,
Absolutely.
they
Absolutely.
fucking tapped our asses
All y'all cap.
with a
All y'all cap.
regiment. And you ain't
For
asked
real.
no questions.
Yep. All
Man, you
y'all
ain't
cap.
asked no questions about that about what the fuck they was giving you. But okay,
Mhm.
you had COVID. You caught COVID for the
Yeah.
first fucking time,
The
apparently.
first time, yeah.
2023. You think it was the airport? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely had to have been. There's no other reason. Because even going there, I was good. I was good the whole trip. I came back. I was fine traveling, but 48 hours after, because I got in like on a Friday morning or something like that, came in, but Sunday night I started feeling a little something here. Now, so okay, it's probably just something that I sleep it off. Took some NyQuil, something like that, and I'll be cool in the morning. In
And
the morning,
the thing too, why it probably is the airport, because when you were over there, you were mostly outdoor spaces, or
yeah, I was not.
or you
Yeah,
with your
absolutely.
group of people that you came there
Yes.
with, and
Yep.
y'all at the
Yep.
pool, y'all outside, and
Yep.
it's not like all y'all was staying in one hotel room or anything like
Exactly.
that. It's
Exactly. And I was even in my own space. Like I was in my
yeah,
own villa. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
so that's how I know it wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah.
so when I was in the airport, that's the only time I was congested in one space, particularly in the
I
airplane.
get you.
So like it only made sense. You know what I'm saying? And so like 48 hours after I
Did anybody
returned,
else? Catch COVID from your trip?
not so what I heard, so somebody else that was there, one of the family members, she said she wasn't feeling well either, at the end of the trip. So she probably ended up getting it too by the time she got back to Canada.
Yo, you need
So
to side note, you need to, this is what we were doing back in COVID days, and we might have all forgotten, but you should reach out to them and let all of
oh,
your
no, they're
group
aware.
know.
They're aware.
Everybody knew
Everybody's
that.
aware.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. That's the first thing I do. That's
That contact tracing. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, of
so
course.
now
of
they're
course.
like, because I could have somebody vulnerable in my household
Mhm,
that I could be passing. Like I might be fine, but I could pass it on to them,
mhm.
and I didn't know because you didn't tell me. Like if you told me, I would be like, okay,
Yeah,
boom, let me get a hotel for a couple of
yeah.
days, or let me go stay at my sister's place for a couple of days or
Mhm.
something like that, or whatever. But
Yeah, I mean,
go
I
ahead.
did that immediately. Like when I discovered that I had it, like when I saw that the test result was positive, I was like, oh, I immediately hit everybody up who was, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
who was there. I was like, hey, just make sure y'all, get right and make sure y'all test each other, whatever. So that was so I did hear that. But as far as me, like, yeah, I mean, it was like that Monday morning, and I got up for work, and I was like, okay, I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I ate some food. I was chilling for like majority of the day. But during the evening time, I started feeling like a bit under the weather a little bit. I was like, oh, this is. I'm like, man, this is the second day in a row. I'm kind of feeling like this. I'm like, all right, let me still continue to try to treat this with some of the stuff that I have, whatever. Took another NyQuil that night. But when I woke up that morning, that Tuesday morning, man,
How'd you
I
feel?
was like, yo,
How'd you
I
feel?
was like, I feel crazy. Like, I felt
What?
wild, bro. I was getting chills, fever chills. Like, I was sneezing. I had like a slight, not like a severe migraine, but like a slight migraine. It wasn't like too.
Did you have a
bothersome, but
fever? Did you like? Did
I had
you
a
like?
fever.
Do you have
That
thermometer?
that's I don't have a thermometer, but I knew that it was a fever because I know how my body is when I've
Yeah.
caught fevers.
But
Like I
if
know,
if you're hot, then like
yeah,
you got that fever.
like and for me, I get like chills too. Most people get like fever chills as well. But like I know how my body is when I get a fever, right? Whenever I've had a fever, I know how my body is. So I knew immediately that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of did like the little self-test kind of thing. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely I'm definitely hot. And so I was just like, yeah, bro, I'm feeling crazy. And I hit up my manager. I was like, yo, and that was after I took the COVID test, and I told him, I was like, yo, I think I caught the vid. And my manager's cool, so he was kind of like, ah, man, that sucks. He was like, yeah, man, I caught it a couple months ago, man. I know how it feels. He was like, man, just let me know, how you feel. If you can get through the workday, then we can work it out, whatever. So
What?
yeah, no, because at that point, no, he was just he was like it, if you're not because again, I work remote.
I get that,
right?
I get that, bro. If I got a sore throat, I'm calling out. It's a sick day.
No, but you gotta be finished. You gotta be finished, bro. So he was saying what he was saying was like, if you can, then if you can put in the work, then it's up to you. But if you can't, let me know. That's all he was saying. He was like, let me know if you if you can't, let me know. Then we'll work it out. And I was like, all right, cool. But me being Haitian, I was like, I'm gonna just work through it. Right? I'm gonna just work through it. I was like, I'm remote.
This is where I thought you were going with it. You said let you finish. I'll let you finish, and this is exactly where I thought you were going. And I'm like, oh,
I'm still not done yet though about how I did it. So I continued to work, right? But then because the symptoms started getting like a bit unbearable, I was like, okay, I need to chill. So really what I ended up doing was like a half day. Right? Like a half
I wouldn't, bro, you can't be doing a half day. You got COVID. You got COVID. You don't need to be doing no half day.
But I was like,
the communication, bro. I feel like I've been,
okay, go ahead.
We've been talking about this for several episodes now.
Yes.
Remember I talked the whole thing about having time off and taking time off and all that kind of stuff.
You're right.
Like, dude, you got it in your bucket of PTO and sick day and all that kind of stuff.
It's
the conversation was just, hey, my guy, I'm out. That's it. That's all you're getting from me.
It should have been.
Matter of fact, you get a text. I'm out. Got COVID. Holla. to the point where he's like, no. If anything, as a manager, what he should do is, he should say, no, okay, you gotta take off. Don't even give me the option. If you're not gonna give yourself like, no, you're like, no, bro. I want my team to be solid. You know what I mean? I want it to be healthy. I want to make sure that he's good. You know what I mean? If he needs anything, let me know. I could DoorDash you some stuff. You know what I mean? Or something like that as a manager. Like I've had managers that like did stuff like this for me, and no, bro, like
my manager wouldn't have been opposed to any of that stuff. Like he's
right, but like both of y'all,
but
man,
I understand that.
You should have just been straight up, and I'm gonna take the day off. I can't do it. And he should also been like, bro, why are you even trying to work? No, take the day off. Yeah, and the thing you said when you said the thing about working remote, that's why I wanted to jump in on that part because
okay, go ahead.
I had that struggle too. I still have it. I ain't gonna lie. But it's like it do be feeling like. I mean, it would suck to go into a building and get dressed up and through traffic.
Yeah.
But I'm sick in a particular way where pajama pants really make me feel better. So, it's like, I couldn't, I could still work. You know what? I ain't gonna milk the system like that. I can still actually work. I work on a computer.
Yeah.
Let me work, but I'm I'm in my pajama pants. So that's what I do now, and I didn't take a sick day. So I didn't fully take care of myself. I didn't fully prioritize myself. And I'm still focused in on these other people. The thing that sucks the most about it is when you have the PTO to give, you got it.
Yeah.
You got the PTO. It's one thing if you don't got it, you got to move stuff around. Then they want to make you, then you have to like make up the hours someplace else and all that kind of stuff. But like when you got the PTO and you're actually sick, like it's like we have to own that shit, man. We have to own our PTO. We have to own our free time. We have to own our self-care time. But you were saying, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, so essentially, I got back to work pretty much when I told him about this particular this thing, and I took like a half day. And it just took the rest of the day off. And
So is
it
that
got
Wednesday or was that the
that was
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
So Tuesday was the day
Uh,
that you're feeling wild crazy,
yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday
and
was
you
the day I was
still
feeling
try
like
to
this.
work that half day.
And I still try. Yeah, I just, it's just one of those things.
Mhm.
uh, Sometimes bad habits, old habits are hard to break. So it is, it is what it is. Just working through stuff, and that's a whole nother thing. Even like I think about like even times when we were sick, and Pops was like, "You still got to go to school."
Still got to go to
So,
school.
yeah, so and not only are you, it's not like he's driving you to school, you still got to walk to school.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so it's all that stuff. So the next day, Wednesday, I was still wasn't feeling great. I still wasn't feeling great, but I felt better. I was already kind of like recovering. Um, and I was feeling better. So I was like, so I was like, I think I could work today, Um, I got to the work day. I was like, I still felt a little bit, but it wasn't like, it didn't bother me enough where I was like, oh, I can't do anything. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I got to the work day during the day, but then like randomly, and this is Wednesday night, randomly, like at like when it got to like night, it was like around like 9 o'clock or something like that. It felt like my whole body just started to just shut down.
Damn,
Like
son, that's
yeah,
crazy.
it was a
Shut
crazy
down.
crash, bro. It was ridiculous. It was a crazy crash where like my whole body I got really tired. I got really tired, and I was like,
How come I didn't hear about this in real time?
I mean, I guess I was just kind of like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I
Was you
was
just
like,
think you're gonna be in
I'm
your
gonna just
apartment by your damn self, thugging it out?
basically, basically that's what it was. Like, I thought about telling anybody. I was like, man, I'm not. I was like, I'm just gonna get through it. Whatever. It was
Hold
just
on,
one of those things
let me
where I was
pause
like,
right there. Let me pause right there for a second. I wanna state something for the record.
mm-hmm.
I'm never too busy if you need help.
Sure, I got you. Sure.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I
So
got you.
maybe I don't know if it's something that I did or something I might have
Oh
said that
no,
made you feel in the
no.
past
Mm,
that got you to where like, oh, I'm not gonna bother Darwin with this right now.
mm,
If you going through it and
mm,
I don't know that,
mm,
like that's a failure on my part.
mm,
Something I did. I don't know exactly what it
mm,
was,
mm,
and you might not even know it specifically either, but it might have been built up. Who knows?
mm.
But to get you to the place where you're where you're like, oh, I'm really going through it, and I'm not gonna, I don't have this person I can reach out to.
Mm,
Um, I'm sorry for that. I don't know what
mm,
it was, but I want to put for the record that going forward, I'm staying. I'm telling you now, so
mm,
you don't have a question.
mm.
Like, oh, should I do it? Should I? Should I? No. You call me.
Yeah, no,
You let me know.
no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But I will say this, that it's nothing to do with you or anything.
Okay.
It's really just like when I it may be bad. It's honestly, it's probably a bad habit that I have where I feel like if I'm going through something, I feel like, and I feel like I can get through it myself without reaching out to other people, I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna thug it out. Like one of the things that I've been told in the past that I need to do more of is reaching out for help when I need it. Right. Um, that's something I've been working through for a long time. I ain't gonna lie. Like I don't know. I've been very self-sufficient for a while. And again, like if it's something that I feel like I can get through myself, I don't really reach out to people because yeah, I do feel like at times that maybe I bothering this person or inconveniencing this
The
person.
thing is,
But
the thing is like,
it's not you in particular. It's really a me thing. Like where it's like if I feel like I can handle it, I just deal with it and just keep it moving. Like that's kind of that's honestly
I
kind of how I'm wired. I don't know why. I don't know why. It could stem from it could stem
maybe
from
some
stuff.
past experiences where
Yeah, maybe,
maybe people didn't show up for you. Maybe people didn't show
yeah,
up for you when you wanted to.
maybe.
So you decided to at some point, you move different. You move like,
Mhm.
okay, boom, people ain't showing up for me when I need them to. So,
That's
I
fair.
have to look out for myself.
That's fair.
Uh
Yeah.
and maybe I was one of those people at some point. I don't know.
I,
Um
I can't think of I can't think of a
but
time where that was the case, but
but
but I do understand what you're saying. Though. I do
mhm.
understand what you're saying. It is one of those things that I know personally that I've kind of gone back and forth on. It's like and honestly, could be a pride thing. It could just be a
Nah, I got
thing.
it. I'm a real man. Real men don't call for help.
it could like
real men don't call for help.
just being completely transparent. It could be a pride thing. You know, pride is something that I've struggled with for a long time. I'm not gonna lie. It could be a pride thing. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like I do pride myself on being objective. So it could be a pride thing. Right. So I don't know. But that's kind of how I saw it at the time. I was like, man, I can get through this. I'm not gonna trip. I'll just do what I need to do, get my rest, and I'll be good. Right. So but I do appreciate what you said for sure. I do appreciate that. And I need to do better at that. Like just reaching out for people, for assistance when I clearly may need it. Right. So,
so Wednesday night,
as far as
you on the floor, bent over.
I wasn't know that.
Throwing up all over yourself. You know what I mean?
So
how many times you changed your underwear? You said 4 or 5 times. Dang, where you going through it? Huh?
Man, it was, bro. I was definitely. It was like a weird cliff, bro. A very weird cliff, man. I just got really tired. I got really cold. Yeah. I was sweating, but I was getting like fever chills. So I was like, "Whoa, where did all this crap come from? Out of nowhere?"
Danny,
right? I was chilling.
Danny, your dog Danny, looking at you crazy.
Yeah, he definitely was looking at me crazy, like, "Yo, what is up with this guy?" He definitely was looking at me crazy.
Danny's like, "You need help?"
Yeah, because he definitely wasn't used to me. He definitely wasn't used because he was low-key kind of complaining a little bit because he wasn't used to me going to sleep as early as I did. Because I was in the bed like at 8:30. Like I was like, yo, like I was like literally in the bed at 8:30. Like I did my toiletries real quick.
Did you have to? You still like walk Danny and stuff, like, right?
Yeah. I mean, I still, but it was very quick. it was very quick.
And you just squeezing Danny. Get that poop out.
Get it out.
Just get that poop out.
Danny was
like
looking at me crazy. Yeah, it was just like, bro, I was like, can't do it. It was extremely quick. Got in the bed like at 8:30, bro. I didn't get up until to me it felt like that was like my body's way of like, we just gonna get this out.
Your body was like, we just gonna focus on. Your body was like, we're just gonna focus on the essentials.
Yeah.
The rest of what's going on with your body, it ain't on us. You gonna live though. We're gonna make sure you live.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
But the rest of this shit,
he was like, they were like, no, we getting this rid of this thing today.
Not clocking in. They call PTO on your ass. Yeah. They call PTO on your ass.
Big bang. Everybody was like, we getting rid of this thing today. We're done. Yeah. We're done with this.
Off of this.
So off of this, bro. So like, I was out. I got up like 12 hours later, right? It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. I got up, right? I woke up like like nothing ever happened. Brand new.
Did you actually sleep though? Did you sleep okay?
I was out.
What did you take? Did you take like over-counter medicine or something?
I took NyQuil. I took NyQuil again because NyQuil just seems to be like the only thing that works for me for some reason. But I took NyQuil again. Also another thing is I was hydrating a lot. I make sure that I was hydrating a lot. Yep. But like I was out, bro. Like I surprisingly was able to sleep pretty well. I feel like I lost some weight too. It's just crazy. It's a bunch of stuff.
Hey, but shout out to COVID. Getting that summer body right.
For real, like. So but yeah, man, like I woke up in the morning and I was like completely fine. I was like, what just happened? I was completely fine. Like that Thursday, I was completely fine. Nothing. No migraine, no fever, no nothing. Just completely fine.
So when the last time you tested?
The last time I tested was it Thursday or Friday? I want to say it was like 2 days after. So I want to kind of give it some time.
Yeah,
but I didn't even like join civilization. I was still at the crib. Okay. Right? Like I still never really went unless I was gonna get something to eat. But if I was going to get something to eat, like I make sure I was masked up and all that stuff, and then went back to the crib. But other than
that's
that,
responsible. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, you
still
have that in your system because it's still you're still shedding it.
It's still exactly. Because a couple of days later, I would have to have gone to church, right? Because it would have been like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I didn't go to church. Like I was like I'm gonna wean myself back into like civilization for real. And so when I took that test and it was negative, and I was all right, cool, I'm good. But then I still took like a whole another week to like just like I'm gonna really take my time for real. Took another test and I was clean and clear. I was like, okay, so I'm good. I'm good. And the symptoms never returned or whatever. It kind of felt like a rite of passage. That's what it
now
felt
you
like.
Now you know what everybody else is talking about.
Yeah.
But me, I caught COVID. I only caught COVID once. It took a long time because, when I caught COVID, I was doing too much. I knew it. You know, I was doing too much. You know what I mean? But I caught it. I almost got it. No, I was doing too much. Anyways, at that point, I did everything. I did everything right. I was doing everything right. You know what I mean? I was like staying away from people. Matter of fact, people come to work to the house and I'm still got them masked up. If it's somebody that come do work at the house, I don't know you like that, G. I got masks right here in a plastic for you. You can get one, or you can go get your own, or we're gonna have to reschedule this shit. You're gonna wear a mask when you come to my house. I don't know you.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? And fuck COVID shit, I don't know what else you got. You know what I mean? You could get polio. I don't want your polio either. You know what I mean? Come around this bit with the plague. The plague. The plague. You know what I mean? Nah. So I haven't had it in a while, but today, like we went to the gym and I finally kind of got off of the wearing mask everywhere because I was still one of those people that's wearing masks in 2023 everywhere.
You still one of those, okay?
I was one of those, right? Talking about to movie theater, talking to the grocery store. You know what I mean? It's only been a couple of months now that I've been like, okay, picking and choosing where I wear it. But anywhere that's gonna be like
confined with crowds
with a crowd of people, I'm wearing a mask. Again, I don't even want your dirty saliva, you know what I mean, freaking tobacco chewing ass motherfucking saliva anywhere near me or in my atmosphere. So like, that reason alone, I'm gonna wear a mask if I'm in an elevator with a bunch of people. But I go to the gym and I'm like, okay, I finally got off the masking in the gym, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, boom, because it's only be like maybe like 4 or 5 people in there, and it's a big community gym. And so like, okay, we Gucci. But today, I'm like, when did y'all motherfuckers discover the gym?
It's the summer. Who are these people? It's the summer. Everybody's trying to do.
No, I was walking up. I was like, oh, they must be going to the pool. They're going to the pool. Okay. They're going to the pool because the pool's open now because it's summer.
Yeah.
Dog, these motherfuckers up in the gym coughing their asses off, specifically coughing.
Yeah.
This nigga had the tissue paper, coughed in it, blew his nose in it, folded that bit up and put it back in his pocket.
And kept it moving. That's crazy.
It kept it moving, dog. And I'm supposed to be. Hey, let me work in this set with you. Or let me spot you, or do you need a spot? Okay, you come spot me. Like, no.
I'm not gonna lie. Pre-COVID, if I saw that even pre-COVID, I was like, nah,
so
bro.
Gross. People are so gross.
That's crazy.
So it was a bunch of people. So I'm like, I keep good thing. I keep one in the tuck.
Sure.
I keep one in the tuck. So I got my gym bag, pull that bit out, and I did it for the rest of that gym time. But that plane. I ain't never gonna get off that. I don't think for the rest of my life. I'm masking the fuck up.
I absolutely learned my lesson. Trust me.
On a plane, get that N95. Hey, you know what? You can walk through the airport. You might be fine. You should be okay, right? There's still a risk anywhere you go. We should be okay. But once they start boarding, my shit's coming on.
Masking up.
Because you also stand in that damn jetway.
Yeah.
For like 15 minutes waiting for
a minute, just
moving up slowly but surely way in, and you still and that's a little closed tube also.
Yeah.
So even from that point, and people trying to get their last phone call in, we're about to get on the plane, you know what I mean? Okay, so we gotta go, they you can get, and everybody's doing the same time, and people talking all around me. Ugh. I feel like I need a mouthwash just thinking about that shit. So I mask up. So that plane gonna get you, bro.
Yeah,
every time. Real. So but you got it. You got over it.
Yeah, I got over it, man. And for me, I thank God that it was quicker because there are some people who had like serious battles with COVID. For real, the people who went to emergency rooms. I mean, like serious battles over.
I got a friend who's just now getting his taste back.
What?
After like a year or some shit.
You know, it's so crazy. I never lost taste or sense of smell. It was just a fever.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
it. That's all it was.
I forgot it was something that happened with me that
That's
was
so
you
crazy.
know the thing that was with me. I
Mm.
didn't have anything. I didn't have any crazy of those other things either. But like
Mm.
phlegm in my
Oh yeah,
throat,
crazy phlegm.
that shit lasted for like a month after.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
like for a
That phlegm was
month
crazy.
after
Yeah.
that. I'm
Mm.
still not 100% back from that shit.
Mm.
But like if I talk a lot and if I drink, it might happen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I never used to be like that. It never used to be
Mm.
like that.
Mm.
But that phlegm was just like I was clearing my throat all the time for like a
Mm.
month. That shit
Mm.
sucked.
Yeah, man. It is that just makes it even more fascinating. This particular virus is how differently it affects people, right?
After
And
the
not
fact,
after the fact, and not only that, now you have it continues to mutate and have different variants,
all
and
these
different
variants and
strength.
everything.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother thing. So like these man, I'm just thankful, man. I'm just really thankful that it wasn't it like my body reacted to it in the way that I'm glad that it did. That means my immune system is strong. I mean, obviously, the younger you have more healthier immune system, you have a greater chance of fighting it off in the most
And you were
efficient way.
vaccinated.
And I was vaccinated too, so that gives me that gives my immune system like a boost to be able to combat this foreign entity, right? So and that's actually one of the things that I kind of wanted to touch on a little bit. That I tell people that it's like, yes, the vaccine was rushed. FDA didn't back it and all that stuff. I understand. There's all this political rhetoric surrounding it and all that stuff. But what the vaccine does, at the very least, is give you a better chance of fighting these things. Yeah. Like, at least it gives you some help. It's like you're fighting someone with a sword it's like you're fighting someone with a sword and shield as opposed to just having a sword. You better hope your parrying skills is nice, man.
And one hand behind my back.
Right.
Touche.
Like, you better hope your parrying skills is nice, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like,
because when you find out that it ain't so nice, you
Yeah.
might have lost a limb at that point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it gives you a better chance at fighting, and that's just logically just thinking about it. I don't even have to give, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's kind of how I've always looked at it as far as the vaccines. I understand the risks and all that stuff or whatever, but that's kind of how I looked at it. And I think honestly, because I was vaccinated, it helped. It gave my immune system a bit more of a boost to fight it off and get over it more quickly. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So like, because even the CDC will tell you that those who are vaccinated, they still would encourage people to get vaccinated. Like, it's just it's statistics, it's facts. They still would encourage you to do it, even though it has these side effects. They still encourage you to do it.
So I think it's going to end up being something that's like how you get the flu shot every year.
That's what it's going to be. Pretty much.
You know, I mean, it's going to end up being something like that, or maybe they're even going to develop a vector to where they can it's in the one shot. You know what I mean? Your COVID and your flu is in one shot, and boom, that's the same thing. They just call it something different.
Yeah, you know I mean, the efficacy has gone up since these vaccines have been introduced. And one thing I wanted to kind of actually mention here real quick, just to give people a little bit of a background of how vaccines are created. Essentially, they are created from like the actual virus that exists, right? So, for example, but it's various ways that they're made.
Different kinds of vaccines.
Different kind of vaccines and different methods how it's made. But like one of the popular ways is inactivating the virus, right? And this particular strategy, and I got this directly from, I forgot what site it was, but it was a reputable site. I don't play with research. But basically, viruses are completely inactivated or killed with a chemical, right? And from there, by killing the virus, it can't possibly reproduce itself. It can't multiply when you kill the virus, right? So, for example, like an inactivated polio, hepatitis A, influenza, the flu, rabies vaccine, they're all made this way by killing the actual virus and making it inactive, right? And because this virus is still seen by the body, cells of the immune system that protect against disease are generated. So
and then they get familiar with it so that later on, when it comes back, they're like, hey,
because all these viruses have signatures, they have a way that they operate. So this is typically how vaccines are created. You have to use the actual virus itself, but just make it
not all vaccines are created
not all
like
vaccines,
that,
but some viruses, but some vaccines are created that way. But that's typically one of the popular ways that vaccines are created.
Historically, yes.
So which is why, like, for example, like with the COVID vaccine itself, you have to take multiple doses because I mean it's more research that's being gathered. The efficacy is growing steadily because it's more and more time that's being taken to improve its efficacy. So So that's just what it is.
With that said, do not take medical advice from Challenge
yeah,
Day
I was
or its
just about to say
affiliates.
that.
You know, I would say do your own research, but I know y'all niggas is trash at that. So I would say go look go listen to some authority figures.
Yes,
that
yes,
have
absolutely.
credentials.
Yeah,
Right, that have proper
absolutely.
credentials, not from like fucking online university.com, right? Like
Yeah.
people that have been in this business, that have been in this industry, that have been
Yes.
studying this for all their lives.
Well
They put a
researched,
lot of research,
for sure.
and then see if
Scholars in the
people
field.
have
Yep.
cited them as sources. Like
Yes.
you see credible sources
Yeah.
citing the people that you know are legitimate communicators about these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And if they're getting excited about these folks, then you know that what you're researching, what you're hearing from them is probably legitimate. But don't get medical advice from a podcast.
Yeah, we're not medical practitioners. We're just telling you our side of it.
We're doing a little bit of history, a little bit of research that we've done
yeah,
here.
just a little bit of research, just to get you kind of hip on some of these things. But but yeah, man, that was basically my bout with it. I got over it. I'm happy I got over it. And the message to take from this, guys, is just be proactive about your health. Be proactive about your health. You can take that advice. Just be proactive about your health, man. Do things that will help you. I'm not saying to take the vaccine or however you feel about it. That's your prerogative, but try things that will allow you to be healthy, like eat healthier, take care of your diet, being proactive about these types of things. Just make sure
exercise,
watching, exercising. Yeah, just be proactive about your general health and your hygiene. That's all we're saying here.
He's doing hygiene in there. That niggas ain't brush their teeth.
I mean, hey, listen, you
you're right, bro. But you're right about
hygiene.
Hygiene right about the hygiene because like we wash our hands way more now.
Yeah.
Because we was trash at washing our hands before.
Hygiene is important. It's important, man. You have some guys, to think about the hygiene thing, to think about washing the hands thing. You see some guys, they'll go in
go to the bathroom, come out, just walk right out.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Don't visit the sink.
And so it's like, hey, come on, man. Like, just let's be more hygienic, folks. Please. Please, for everyone's sake. For everyone's sake. But yeah, that's my challenge, man. I got over it, man. I'm just happy to be back. So we good to go. So that's my challenge.
What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I gotta give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too.
We're going to get into a bit of some tech news. Technology is steadily advancing. There's always good and bad when it comes to technology. One of the things that's been in the news lately is artificial intelligence. And of course, you have your bad actors when it comes to AI.
It's going to happen. When tech develops, you're going to have your good act, your black hats and your white hats, right?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that has recently come about that it's so absurd when you think about it, because it's kind of like you
obvious.
Are causing it's that, but it's also you're causing, you can literally cause like a national security incident to happen, right? With just the ability of what AI can do, right? And it's almost like, bro, like you're really playing with the lives of people, right? You're playing with resources, all these responses, that's what they require, timing and all this stuff. So it's absurd, right? So there's one particular situation that occurred because of some AI generated images online.
This was back in May.
Yeah, about some images with the Pentagon. You want to go ahead and talk about it a little bit?
So there was an explosion near the Pentagon. Did you hear about this?
The Pentagon.
There's an explosion.
Yeah.
Near the Pentagon, right? And this was trending all over the social medias, and it got to the point where Wall Street got the message.
Yeah.
Oh shit! There's an explosion near the Pentagon.
Yeah.
This shit cost a $500 billion loss in the stock market.
Insane. Insane, bro.
It came back, it crawled back the same day, which is also kind of wild to think that $500 billion could be lost and gained that fast. That's a lot of money fucking moving around.
You better peep game. You better peep game.
So
for real.
But still, it was fake. It was a fake picture that somebody used AI to build. USA Today has a write-up here, a false report of an explosion at the Pentagon accompanied by an apparent AI-generated image. It spread on Twitter on Monday, which caused officials to respond. In a joint statement on Twitter, the Arlington County Fire Department, which is the county that the Pentagon is in, and the Pentagon Force Protection Agency said the reports circulating online were false. There's no explosion or incident taking place at or near the Pentagon reservation, at the Pentagon reservation, and there is no immediate danger or hazards to the public. They said in a statement, when you look at the when you look at the images there, what they did is like a very cursory look. You can see a side of the Pentagon, a little bit in the picture, and this giant explosion. It looks like maybe like a tanker truck or something like that. Might have blew up, or maybe it was an attack. And somebody blew something up there, like with a bomb or something like that, right? But the fake image showed the cloud of smoke near the building, which the user claimed was the Pentagon, right? Turns out a variety of AI-generated images have gone viral across social media, and this was one of them. Another one was the one where Donald Trump looked like was being arrested. So this was before he got arrested. You can see all these pictures going through social media, like, oh, Trump is being arrested. Look at it. Like, I saw it and I knew it was fake, but it was still fun, so I did like it. You know what I mean? But I knew it was fake, right? It was like, there's no way he's gonna be arrested like that. Like they showed him kind of like scrambling and fighting to get to get away. And no, there was no way that that
would never happen.
That would have happened like that, right? We see all the way he has been indicted, and we see how he's being treated. No fingerprint. I mean, they got fingerprints. No handcuffs. No mug shots. Come and go. You know, they let him get back on his plane to go fly, to go do speeches and stuff like that. So it was never going to be anything like that.
All of this can be used for propaganda. All of this can be used for propaganda.
But yeah, so as long as you just put a marker in there that says it's propaganda. So this is why. Also, you know, we covered this with the Pope with that coat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Pope that coat.
Which I felt kind of two ways about though, because even though we knew that it wasn't like, because we both suspected that it was this.
But that's what we said at the end. So it was just like,
yeah, we knew that.
But I was like, somebody still needs to make this coat.
Yeah, for sure.
I stand by that.
Definitely. I was like,
that AI just gave us something, and y'all better take that shit and run with it. That's what that was. So, but like, it's crazy, bro. Like with the freaking with AI generated image, like we do not know. Man, we have to be discerning, man. I already don't trust people who are doing their own research, and now you got to interpret and have people be not fooled.
Yeah, man.
By AI. Even the smartest people on Wall Street were fooled by the AI. It lost $500 billion.
$500 billion, man. So now what's gonna have to happen is we're gonna have to create systems and firewalls that can detect this type of code, where it's like, okay, this. All these things have signatures.
If the AI has its own signature,
all of them, they all have signatures. It's just that's just tech, you know. That's code, that's programming. They all have signatures. So it's like it's malicious code has signatures, like the way that it behaves.
So we're gonna have to now. So what that means is we're gonna have to rely on the social media companies to themselves invest money so that they can identify when you see a post that's it. So they can say this is likely. This is likely AI. You want. You're Mark Zuckerberg?
I'm not holding my breath.
You saying you're going to put Elon on the job.
I'm not holding my breath. The technology is out there for that, but like, I'm not holding my breath. That we have antivirus scanning technology, and it can obviously, there's definitely software that's out there that actually is available that people can use to detect these type of things. But nah, man, I don't. I ain't holding my breath with these social media companies.
And they would have to find, and they would have to. They would stop the original post, but what if somebody took a screenshot?
Yeah, and now it's circulating all through online.
Yeah, and the screenshot doesn't have that code.
Yeah,
you know,
it actually creates its own.
We're gonna have to create AI that can read images
in real time. Yep.
Read images, like not even code, like images in real time. And just like analyze the image and be like, okay, this was AI generated, or this is similar. The pixels line up in a particular way with something that's already been flagged.
Exactly.
as AI generated.
Mhm.
Bruh, there's one thing when you can use AI to like help
Mm.
enhance your work, but
Mhm.
this generative AI that like creates work
That
from
create stuff is
scratch,
crazy. Yeah,
you can just create
that's
stuff from
crazy.
scratch.
Yeah.
Like that's we're not ready.
But this goes back to that conversation that we had a couple episodes ago, some time ago, where we talked about like original source code, right? Because AI is really pulling from sources or information, the data that already exists. But it's type of AI that can just create
Yeah,
data that doesn't
its
exist
own.
at all.
Yeah,
That's different. I ain't gonna lie.
you put in
That's
text.
different.
You say do this and that, do that in text, and it will create this image.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
wild. They're doing videos and shit now. This whole mid journey thing and all these kind of
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a so people just need to be aware of that. Like you really have to, it's also part of people being socially aware. But you're also requiring people to be more skeptical in what they see and read, right?
Yeah,
Which
you
they
should be
kind of should
skeptical.
be, which they should be
You should
anyways.
be. You're
But
on
like,
the internet.
but it's the onus on people being more proactive about these things is significantly increasing every day with the way that technology is advancing. Like it's becoming a standard. Like you should have situation awareness in real life, like all the time. But like in cyberspace, it needs to be times 10.
What? Talk about
For real.
swivel.
For real.
Oh,
You need to, yeah,
swivel.
for real. So on the flip side, there is some interesting technology that you and I have discussed
Some
offline.
good tech.
Some good tech that could certainly be helpful for a lot of people, especially those who like to take road trips, who like to travel to and fro. Even truckers, it can help them in the
Mm-hmm.
long run because they're doing all deliveries and all that stuff. We have this particular production from, what is the name of this company? I'm trying to remember the name of the company. It's called
Electrion.
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 So they
Yeah,
have
they
this
got this
dope
thing.
they got this dope yeah, I'm gonna hand it off to you in a second, bro. They got this dope idea of having electrified roads that can charge vehicles wirelessly. You want to go ahead and explain that further, bro?
So the headline here in Business Insider: a
Mhm.
Toyota EV drove 1,200 miles without stopping to charge, thanks to electric roads
Impressive.
with
Impressive.
with wireless charging. Um, Spoiler alert: this shit ain't gonna happen. But I'll get there in a second.
It's
I'll
not.
get there in a second, right? Okay,
Facts.
so this is very clever. It's very dope. So you know how you have
We can dream though.
we
We
can
can
dream,
dream.
American dream. So you know how you have your phone. I'm grabbing my phone right here. So you know how
Yep.
you have your phone when you go to sleep at night or whatever, or even maybe by your desk, you have your wireless charger sitting on the desk, and you just like you could put your phone on it,
Right
boom,
on there. Yeah.
and it charges, right? And it's
Yep.
charging, right?
Mhm.
And so, um, they sort of kind of same technology. They did it. They
Yeah.
embedded in the
Same
roads,
concept.
and whatever the magnetic pull and distance, whatever that's going to
Yes.
happen, that's charging in the vehicle as the vehicle drives by.
Mhm.
You know, it gets some of that charge, and so they'll have like segments of the
Mhm.
road with these charging coils,
Yes.
right? And the vehicle would already be equipped with the
The
receiving
ability to
part,
receive it. Yep.
with the battery, right? The rechargeable battery, and as it's driving around the coil, it's recharging itself.
Yep.
So they start off here. Imagine driving an electric car without ever needing to stop and recharge. Sounds like witchcraft, right? Well, it's possible, and the answer isn't in the car itself; it's in the road.
Mhm.
Electrion, this is an Israeli startup. They founded in 2013, is developing electric roadways that can charge moving vehicles wirelessly. Wirelessly, my G,
Honestly,
while
that's
you're driving.
this is some Star
While you're
Wars.
driving.
This is some Star Wars joint. This is, yeah, it's impressive.
Right? Right? Potentially eliminating the need for lengthy pit stops or plugging in. I got to come back to this paragraph. I am going to rip this
Yeah.
paragraph apart,
Mhm.
but we're going to come back to it. So this is the rose-colored glasses interpretation of it all.
Yes.
To demonstrate the tech's potential, Electrion drove an electric Toyota for 1,207 miles straight on a test track. Uh, that's to you, Tesla. Stay on the test track where you fucking belong with those fucking cars. All right. Straight on a test track that had its wireless charging coils embedded under the
Under there.
asphalt.
Yeah.
That's about 5 times farther than a normal EV can travel on
Yeah.
a full charge. Okay, I'm not gonna read all the rest of this because basically that's the gist of it.
That's basically just of it. Yeah.
That's the gist of it. So you're driving on the road. There's these coils they have embedded in the road, and as you drive over it, your car is being charged when it goes along. They did this on a course, and mind you, the closed course was only half of the course had coils.
Yeah.
So they
just going around and
so
around.
so they're not saying that you have to rip up all of the streets in all of your neighborhoods in all of the country.
Yeah.
They're saying there's segments. You just put these at the mall. When you go to the mall, you park your car anyways, and it's charging. You driving through the highway, and they'll have like a good mile on the highway that's charging for that mile, right? You maybe get like a 5% boost. But then like
every time you pass by
5 miles from down the road, there's another strip. And you get another 5% boost. And then next thing you know, you're driving infinitely. You can drive, they could have driven infinitely. As long as those coils were still working and that battery was still taking a charge, they could have still been driving today.
Yeah.
You think Big Oil and BP and Chevron them ain't got something to say about that? Nigga, you crazy?
Absolutely not.
There's no fucking way. Man. And then you're talking about the government having such a large infrastructure project to rip up. So they say half the track that they did there to rip up half the roads in the United States of America. Let's say we give them the next 15 years to rip up half the roads and then install these coils. And then we're talking about adoption, getting the public to adoption because there's no way you're going to rip up these fucking coils, these fucking streets. If ain't nobody got the cars that is designed for.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. Though. They did use a Toyota for this. So mind you, the Toyota isn't the thing here. Electrion is the company that's doing the technology. They just happen to use a Toyota RAV4 for this experiment.
Yeah.
Right? So that means perhaps this could be adoptable to any car. Maybe even if you have a used car. Right? Point. Maybe if you had an old beat up car, they could install this in your vehicle and you can still take advantage of it. So, but even then, you're still left with the problem of adoption. Like people, you're gonna have cars that are plugged in right now still aren't fully adopted. Even hybrids aren't fully adopted. I'm just not in the market that thinking about maybe getting a hybrid, let alone an electric, a full electric.
Could it also be because part of it is mentally adopting having these type of vehicles on the road, but also some of these cars are expensive, man. These hybrids.
And as you get more expensive, especially the battery technology. They get more expensive. Who's to say how much this battery alone is going to cost? This Electrion battery to install. The battery might be freaking let's say $5,000, and then to install it might be another $2,000. You're gonna have somebody who's got a freaking '96 Honda Accord to spend
$5 bands, bro. Come on,
that's $7 bands, dog.
It's like nah, man.
And you know what they're gonna try to do? They're gonna try to sell them on, but think about the money you save them not getting gas, right? Yeah. And then the gas lobby's gonna be like, nigga, what? Yeah. Wait, what? Nah, you need gas. Then the gas lobby's gonna be like, hell no, they're never gonna let any politician rip up any of these roads.
Absolutely not. They're gonna throw all their resources at
how about those small mom and pop spots who are just now adding freaking charging stations to they're just can afford, and now you tell them to get rid of that shit. They were basically struggling because people getting away from the gas.
Big facts.
And now you say not only that, but you see a lot of times these small towns, these gas stations are like prime because that's their business, because people traveling through, people need to stop for gas. They come through the store, they get snacks. You know what I mean? We keep handy stuff here, like an extra T-shirt or gloves or tire changing equipment. You know, stuff like that. And now you telling me I could drive 1,200 straight? I ain't stopping nowhere. If I need to go to the restroom, I just go to the rest stop.
Yeah,
I don't need to go to no gas station. You just driving straight through. I mean, so there's no fucking way this is ever coming to see the light of day. It's going to be great. There's going to be some people. There's going to be like a very niche market for maybe some exclusive neighborhood.
I could see this happening in Dubai.
Maybe someplace like Dubai, they could throw some money at it. Hell
not
no.
America. Not America.
Hell no, bro.
And even in Dubai, like you mentioned, maybe like a private neighborhood or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Probably like little city or something like that.
Yeah,
That
a
they
little
got, but
smaller.
like,
Yeah, nah.
and you add it as, and you have it as a. But you know what? You know what could work. You know what could work if you all the parking lots. Just put it in all the parking lots. You got to park there anyways, and so you just. But the thing is with the parking lots is that you might as well have a charging station.
Yeah, because
You might as well have a charging station. Like it don't help. You know what I mean? It don't do any difference. So
charge station is less expensive to even install and all that stuff. So
yeah, you ain't got to rip up the roads.
Easier to manage.
Yeah. So you might as well just have a charging station. But like, good luck. I mean, it'll be kind of dope. I mean, if I had it like in my driveway, you know,
that would be cool. That would be cool if you had like in your driveway or something like that. But then again, the same argument you can make charging station. You just have a charging station right there.
I could, but like, it would be cool to have it in my car to not install because the charging station could like, it could make your resale value weird, because if somebody who's coming to your house, they don't, nigga, I drive trucks. Yeah, I drive big trucks. I don't need no.
That could also have the same effect too, though, because a person can be like, "Well, I don't have an EV. I don't want to park here. I don't have a car that takes."
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why it would hurt the resale value.
As far as this particular invention, or like having a charging station.
Oh no, the charging station where this sort of thing is built into the ground. So you know they don't give a fuck if they don't have an EV or whatever.
Oh well, yeah. If you don't have the battery, it doesn't even matter. Yeah,
it doesn't even matter. You don't even see it. It's into the ground.
It's in the ground. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But a charging station is gonna be like right there. And if you don't got an EV and you got this thing, and you know, you're like, oh, I'm moving in here. I'm not gonna buy this house. I don't have an EV.
Yeah,
I'm not even thinking of getting one. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
So it could affect that resale value that way. But it's a dope technology. But the thing is also, now that I think about it, the parking lot one at the mall doesn't save you anything, because what the thing is the problem they're trying to solve for is having to sit at a charging station for 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And so this thing is charging as you're driving. It totally blows that out the water. So whatever vehicle that you have, so it can still be cool, but like the vehicles are only going to still have the same normal amount of range. They're not going to have extra range because they're not getting recharged as they drive.
Do you know what's another thing also to think about is, I can only imagine like these coils are going to have a lot of power output to be able to charge your car fast enough as you're driving.
Yeah, man.
To give you enough juice to like, okay, to get you
to make it to the next
like
coil.
It's gonna be outputting a lot of power, which could lead to radiation.
We don't know what sources. Radiation. I don't know about, but there could be other after effects. I don't know about radiation specifically.
You don't think so? Like
I don't know. I don't think they're using that kind of technology in that. Well, I haven't looked into the white papers, but like it's the battery technology is like lithium and shit like that, and
that's true. It is because Tesla uses lithium ion batteries. So
you know, and so
it has gotten a bit.
I don't know at what levels, you know, if it's constantly. But I think there's also they have these charging. They have, for all the coils, they have like way stations, like unit stations on the side that like I think that might be tied to the grid, so it's electricity. Like the way that your wireless charger at home, you plug it to the wall and you plug your phone to the thing.
That's gonna cost.
That's gonna
cost quite a bit. Yes.
It's gonna cost. People have to. You know what it could work is if maybe have those toll roads. Miami have like VIP lanes. I think down there they call them freaking the Lexus lanes, right? And so though you could have an EV lane, and that
could work.
And not only do you reduce the traffic on the regular side, but because all EVs could go there, and it happens also. If you want to tear up some roads, you could tear up the EV roads and install that stuff there, and that'll give the EV people that's already in that. Man, I'm fucking giving them the whole idea.
Give the whole game.
I'm giving them the whole fucking game.
I thought about that earlier. Though, like it could just be like another toll road. Just
like a specific toll road for that, and you could also install it there. If you have the battery thing, then cool. It's designed for you. If you don't, it's still an EV lane, because now you still get the benefit of your own lane versus the rest of traffic.
Honestly, it wouldn't even make sense for them to not start from that point.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
that makes the most sense to start from that. Yeah. So
You're welcome.
I don't want to call these guys idiots, but I will say that I don't think exploration should cost you your life. I mean, I understand it's exploration it's a high risk thing. I mean, if you're gonna explore new worlds and stuff like that, it's gonna come with risk. But I mean, I think you want to kind of try to mitigate the risk as much as possible when you're cutting corners. That's kind of crazy. So we're gonna get into the submersible thing. These guys, man, bro, I don't even know where to begin with this. It was bad from the beginning.
I know where to begin. I know where to start. I know where to start.
I don't know where to start, bro.
I know where to start. I'm gonna start by giving them their flowers. How about that? I'm already giving grace already. Remember we talked about this?
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm already giving grace. I'm going to give them their flowers.
Fair enough.
In the form of an award.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
my God.
I'm going to give them a Darwin Award. Right? Now, I'm rebranding. I'm going to I have to rebrand it because some of you may be familiar with the Darwin Awards. But let's give you some history of the official Darwin Awards and what they kind of, because I don't mean to say what they're saying. I'm not going all the way there with it, but I do have my twist on the Darwin Awards, and having that namesake, I think I have the right. So we'll get to that one in a second.
Are you going to express what the parameters are for the Darwin Awards? Like
I'm gonna let y'all know what the actual Darwin Awards. So this is a legit thing for the Royal Society Award. No, not that was it. Okay, so the Darwin Awards are a tongue-in-cheek honor that originated in Usenet news group discussions around 1985. They recognize individuals who have supposedly contributed to human evolution by selecting themselves out of the gene pool by dying or becoming sterilized via their own actions, right? The project became more familiarized with the creation of a website in 1993, followed by a series of books starting in 2000. The criterion for these awards states this. Okay, so here's the criterion for the the original Darwin Awards. That was the original recipe. All right, so here's the criteria for the awards. In the spirit of Charles Darwin, the Darwin Awards commemorate individuals who protect our gene pool, right, by making the ultimate sacrifice, right, of their own lives. Darwin Award winners eliminate themselves in an extraordinarily idiotic manner, thereby improving our species' chances of long-term survival. You know why they have those stickers on the toaster that say "Do not stick a fork in this"? You know why those bags that say this is not a toy, keep away from children? It's because somebody did that.
Somebody took an L. Somebody took an L.
Did that shit.
Absolutely.
And so I want to give them the kind of revamped Darwin. I don't want to go so far as to, I mean, a lot of people are shitting on them. Right? I don't know if I want to go as far as to say that, but I will give them their flowers and say thank you for showing the rest of us what not to fucking do. All right? For showing us what not to fucking do. So it's not because you died, you know what I mean? That's a byproduct, you know what I mean? It's like, but you showed us what not to fucking do. So I'm gonna give you a Darwin Award. Cause nigga, I'm not going in no goddamn submersible that freaking bolts me in from the outside.
Bro. Insane.
That's step one.
Insane.
That's one. So these fools, okay. If you've got to heard about it. I don't know if you've been on a rock or anything like that, but this damn submersible. And again, it's called submersible. We have to keep saying that because it's not actually a submarine, because the submarine is self-sufficient, right? Yes. The submersible needs to have another craft to get into its location. And it goes underwater, and it you can pilot it around a little bit, but you can't dock it anywhere. You have to like carry it and get it on a little skiff or something to tow it along wherever you need it to go. And it can only last for a few hours, a couple of days, maybe up to 4 or 5 days. But like, a submarine, you could live under that bitch. I think there's been deployments, not that I know, but you could hear them on the stories that veterans tell. They've been underway in a submarine for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it happens.
Yeah, imagine underwater, but that's crazy.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they come out the water.
Yeah, they come out the water, but just being in the ocean for that long.
Yeah, being in the ocean, and that's your living quarters, right? They've been underway for 6 months. But they do be underwater for a long ass time.
Yeah,
2 weeks at a time, maybe. You know what I mean? But it's huge. Those things are huge, and there's redundancies upon redundancies upon redundancies, right? So these motherfuckers get the Darwin Awards because they
question about that. Weren't you on a submarine at one point?
No. I visited. I've supplied them. Cause I worked in supply.
Yeah.
But I was never stationed or had to work any extended amount of time on a sub.
Okay.
But these fools dude, they went down, and the thing is that this isn't the first time that they used it, so this is like I don't know how many uses, but like how many times they've used it, but they've had repeat customers. There was one customer that was gonna go on his fourth with the same company, Ocean Gate. And he didn't go because I forgot something happened, but he just couldn't go. Right, he had paid his $10,000 deposit and everything. Right, something happened, he couldn't go. So these other people went.
Yeah,
but even the people that have gone once before, there's some people. I don't know about this dude. This dude was kind of wild with it, but people have gone before that was like, I would never do that again. He's like, they're like, do you have no redundancies for anything? You have no backup for anything. You get bolted in. That's another thing. If you get you have no self-sufficiency in there. There's no seats in that bitch.
Yeah, it's
just all on the floor.
I saw some photos. Yeah, I saw photos in there. It's just a floor.
It's just a floor, and it's the size of like an SUV. It's like, imagine being in an excursion, just like with no seats.
Yeah,
an excursion, no seats.
Yeah, just a
floor. And you're in that space. You got to be in that space all fucking day, right? You got to be in that bit. You got to go up something like 5 o'clock in the morning, and you got to get back up by like sunset, right?
Yeah.
Because of so they could be able to see you, because again, this is the bare minimum of a contraption that they put together, and so they could see you with the sunlight, so they could find you because the ship is up there. They got you there, right? And so again, remember, so it's not self-sufficient. It needs the ship with it, right?
Absolutely.
It takes 2 hours to get down to the Titanic, and then 2 hours to get back up. All in pitch black darkness, right? All in pitch black darkness. And you gotta do that for 2 hours, and like you gotta sit in that space the way it is, and then the freaking port that you can see through is like the one in your washing machine, the size of the one in your washing machine.
Yeah.
You do all that for 2 hours, go to that Titanic to see that. One of everything about this is freaking ridiculous.
This is bad, yeah.
One of my friends said, you have rich people paying rich ass people money to go see a graveyard of other rich people at the same site, and now you add into those numbers.
Yeah,
the hubris.
That's wild when you think about it.
There was some social media person that was supposed to go on one of these, and not social media. They work for some like TV show that does like extraordinary like trips and stuff like that, extraordinary adventures and stuff like that, explorers, right?
Yeah,
and they took the crew to the thing to go, okay, we're gonna go on this submarine, Ocean Gate, and they were like, it did not pass the smell test. We were not gonna take our like, star and put them on our host and put them on the sub. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
they just look. The thing is, most of these things are built fully titanium.
Yeah.
This one, they cut corners and built it in a titanium and fiberglass.
Yeah, and they had like adhesive to put parts together that was like not even. I'm like, you're using adhesive? What, bro?
No, they use the word
Insane.
death in their non-disclosure agreement, whatever. Like,
oh my god,
they use the word death 3 times on page 1.
Yo, that's bro.
When you sign your life away, you really sign your life away.
You really are.
And they said it throughout the whole document. It's a 5-page document. Just the first page alone had the word death 3 times in the joint because they did not have the fucking they know they didn't have because the shit wasn't certified, it wasn't licensed.
It was not.
And there's companies, I mean, there's organizations that do this. Yeah. There's scientific organizations that will, because they want people to go down in a smart way because they do research like that also. Yeah. So matter of fact, there was a scientist on board who actually was also a pilot. Yeah. Right? That he could pilot this particular thing. Now, when we talk about the word pilot, people, let's put a pin in that one and highlight this. Have you played PS3 or PS4 anytime in the past? Because that's what they used to pilot that bit.
Bruh, that
was a PS4 controller, I think it was, or PS3 controller.
I thought it was
I heard some other place call it Xbox controller.
Yeah, I heard somebody else say Xbox.
It was a fucking gaming controller, my guy. Either way you smell it, right?
That's just...
And that's fine. You can do that because they're training military people now to use. They're refurbishing these controllers to fly drones and shit.
To fly drones and all that. Yeah.
Right, and so they're going to be using it so they can make them advanced. So it's not necessarily that. But okay, how about this though? Do you have a spare controller? Huh? Or do you have any other backup system in case the controller doesn't work anymore? No, they didn't have no backups for anything. How about if there's a cabin pressure problem? Have the air, the inflatables that you have on the side automatically start inflating, so take you actually back to the top.
Take you right back up. Yep.
Take you right back to the top. Oh, the pressure sensor. You didn't have pressure sensors that told you when there was like maybe a hint of a problem?
Knowing that the deeper you go,
the more pressure.
The more pressure.
Think about it like this, and I really had a hard time really, because those are some numbers. They talking about the pressure under, like there's some numbers that's like, wow, that's like I can't even imagine. So here, think about it like this. A gallon of water. You could pick up a gallon of water, right? You pick up a gallon of water. You ever pick up one of those what do they call it? We had them Zephyr Hill bottles down in Florida where you get like the big cooler, the water cooler joint.
Yeah.
Right. You feel that. You feel that I feel, right?
Yeah.
They're heavy. Now think about the ocean and all of the weight of every molecule or every layer. Let's say you even call it a layer. Every square inch is sitting on top of another square inch. It's sitting on top of another square inch. And so the square inch that's on the bottom of that is holding up all the others. Yeah. And now you're the submarine that's down here at that level of this molecule that's holding out all this shit. Animals have built up that live down there have been doing this shit for eons.
Millennia.
Developing the capability. Yeah. And you trying to go down there in a fucking Subaru, my guy.
Bro, and a lot of so it's interesting thing about a lot of those animals that are that deep down there. Some of those animals have never even seen light. Number one. Number two, because light can't even get down there.
No light down there.
Light can't even get down there. And a lot of those animals
are darkness, like, my old friend.
Yeah, a lot of those animals are like translucent, so they have like they don't even have like
they don't need color
system. They don't need color. They're just like jellyfish.
They're going all vibes down there, bro.
Yeah, all vibes.
it's all vibes.
It's all
when
vibes.
You go under the sea, dog.
For real.
Under the sea.
Like they are literally like those creatures have evolved to a particular state of being to even exist down there.
Yeah.
Where like the density of what they are, like they barely have any density because of all the pressure.
Because what's happening out there, and there's some weird ass animals that's living down there. But like,
very weird.
It's dope because you know, again, scientists that are on board can be able to get imagery of these things. Document like, okay, these, and then like just go, compare it, contrast it to stuff that's living in higher elevations and stuff. But these fools went in the worst, and they went deeper than submarines be going.
Bro,
they went going deeper than submarines be going.
That's so, bro. I can't even. That's, bro, 4,000 meters, bro. That's so.
And yeah, some of the imagery is wow when you think about it. Talking about they showed the Empire State Building stacked on top of top. It's just like some wild freaking imagery, like to think about conceptualizing how deep they're going, and it's got to be interesting to see what has that pressure done to the metal that's on the Titanic.
Yes.
What kind of corrosion is happening? What kind of growth is going around? Is there algae? Is there something that's happening with the way that this thing is either preserved or crumbling, or has it repositioned at all? So does that say something about the water currents that's down at that level? I don't know. There could be some research and scientific stuff, like get that shit funded properly through MIT. You know what I mean? And get that shit certified through all of the boards. But no,
it is interesting because it's like, could there be elements in there that could be preserving the state of the Titanic? Like,
I'm just saying, all of that.
It could be a bunch of
legitimate reasons to have exploration to go on. That's why I want to say before you said something earlier, and I was like, you're not necessarily giving up your life because you're an explorer. But you know that there's what you what you signed up for.
Okay,
you know what I mean? You gotta know what you. So it's like sort of like being in the military, and then somebody you go to Iraq and you die. And it's like it's unfortunate, but like you signed up for the military. You signed off to send guns downrange and to duck and dodge guns coming, bullets coming back at you.
Send bullets downrange. Yeah,
the bullets downrange and have duck and dodge, and sometimes that bit they don't miss. So somebody could be like, oh, they know what they signed up for. Like it's kind of like that's the sacrifice, But we do that.
That's fair.
We do that to maintain democracy. You know what I mean? Or we do that to for national interest, national security interest, whatever reason we do that.
So it's
but just the same thing. It's like space travel and all these other ones. We do that so that other discoveries can happen.
Yeah, but it goes to, I guess the way I was also thinking about it is because with all these things, right, you're trying to mitigate these risks as best as possible.
That's what you should be trying to do.
That's what you should be doing. But these guys did it. So that's why I was
This is why they're getting the Darwin Awards. They're telling us that, hey, don't not get your shit certified.
Yeah.
Don't do freaking a mixture of fiberglass while everybody else is doing titanium. So people that's on the titanium shit is like, that titanium actually hit.
Yeah.
That titanium hit different. I was thinking about throw some fiberglass on the front. You know what I mean? Just like Fast and Furious. You know what I mean? Throw that carbon fiber frame. On that bit. Put a spoiler in the back or something like that. I was thinking about that bit. But now I know that shit don't work. Thank you. I appreciate you. And that's how they get a Darwin Award.
Sure.
Meanwhile, you see this shit was all over the fucking news everywhere you turn.
Yeah.
Fucking CNN was jizzing in their pants when they heard this. What?
Yeah.
They love covering some disaster shit. White people
That's a fact.
in danger?
That's a fact, yeah.
Where can we sign up, right? And so they was going that shit wall to wall. All the fucking news agencies was doing it, right? It wasn't just them. They all was fucking doing it, right? And they're billionaires. Yeah. They're the richest of the rich. For maybe a couple of them in there, it was research purposes, and I get it. Explorers, you can call them. You can be like, oh well, they're just explorers, but like I still see some utility and explorers. So you know,
I see the reasoning behind why. I
behind
get
exploration and stuff, right?
I understand that.
I can see the pitfalls of exploration. Exploration got our asses fucking in chains you know, since
Fact.
1619. So
It's a fact.
that's what these motherfuckers was exploring, and they freaking discovered, you know, even here, you know, with the genocide of the Native Americans.
Yep.
Exploration fucking made that shit happen, you know. But there's also exploration that that got us to where we actually turned DC into a livable place. It was a swamp.
Yeah.
Florida, you know,
was
is a place, you know what I mean? Is you know, and being able to even have houses in places like Tibet, like in the high ass in the mountains and shit like that. Somebody was exploring. They're like, yo, we could live up here, you know. And so exploration allows us to uncover history. We're talking about like tombs that have been uncovered from long lost freaking civilizations and stuff because somebody's exploring, you know, and can discover this stuff, even that up to space. Either way, at the same time, these billionaires, these 5 people, was taking up all the headline. They didn't do it, but but corporate media did, and had us focus on that. What they're not telling us about was the migrant ship that sunk in the Mediterranean with 500 plus people.
500 plus people. Yeah.
Died during the same. Well, it actually this was. I'm sorry. This was like a week prior to the sub going missing. But that's kind of worse because you just had the opportunity to cover this because these people that just died, and you didn't.
I didn't even.
And then the sub thing happens.
Yeah, and then now I didn't.
And now you all
this.
from wall to wall.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with us?
But you know, so this is kind of like what I was thinking about with this as well, right? These are migrants coming from who are escaping Syria, seeking asylum in. These
aren't migrants; these are refugees. That's different.
Migrants is not the word I'm looking for, but it is refugees because they were escaping obviously civil war in Syria, seeking asylum in Greece, right? Because this is off the Mediterranean coast where this happened. So, I found it. I find it interesting in the subject of border security, right? Border security, and how countries, their behavior when it comes to intaking asylum seekers, right? Obviously, there's a lot of political rhetoric that surrounds, like, even with the border activity here in the States. But one of the things that I've been reading in one of these articles is just Greece's behavior and like some of the surrounding countries' behavior in when this occurred, right? One of the points that was made was creating a safer, more fluid route for asylum seekers to be able to immigrate into a particular country. And they were saying, like, people were like, what are the guys who contributed to this article was saying, oh, you know, these people wouldn't have to take this type of route, especially because you have like smugglers who will smuggle people into countries, things like that. They wouldn't have to take these type of routes if there were better passageways of immigrating these folks into these countries. But just the attitude of the Grecian government to just be like, to be obviously aware of the situation and not really act on it.
Well, the thing too is they were tagging along with them. They were tagging along with them. They saw them they saw them in distress, and they was asking them, hey, can we help you? Can we help you? And they were and they were getting flagged away to not help. But the thing is, they're supposed to have a duty to help regardless.
Like
even if they refuse, because that's the thing. Even if they refuse help, they see the ship is in distress. They have an obligation,
especially and these are your waters. Like you should,
it's their water. It's their waters. But I don't know what hands off shit that they were fucking on. But they sat here, they watched the goddamn thing, and then when the goddamn thing sank, they was rescuing people out the water.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you're intervening.
Exactly. And now you want
Now you intervene. Y'all could have been started evacuating that bit, at least take half the people off, because maybe the weight issue. Because this looks crazy.
It was absolutely the weight issue.
This looks crazy. This little fishing boat.
Old ship with 500 people. Yeah,
500 people, dog. The big pimping video didn't have this many people on it.
For real.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it looked crazy. I ain't gonna, I look crazy. When I saw the
ain't no
pictures,
way this was gonna make it. And so and so now you rescuing people out there, and so they caught. And how about this for irony, right? Like 9 of the survivors, because there's not a lot of survivors, I think, so far.
Yeah, I saw a few survivors.
But like 9 of the survivors was the smugglers.
Yeah.
There was the smugglers.
Yeah, that's so crazy. that's so crazy when you think about it.
So reading from Scientific American here, the world rallied to find missing Titan sub, but ignored shipwrecked migrants. Global media has been obsessed with the search of the missing submarine, or submersible, sorry, for those whose 5 occupants spent $250,000 each to get close to the famous wreck of the Titanic. In Germany, where this author lives, the German press described the underwater voyage as a modern adventure that became a life-threatening nightmare. At Spectrum, this is another German newspaper, I think, they wrote about Race Against Time. And our English language sibling, Scientific American, covered the perils of deep sea exploration. The U.S. Coast Guard has deployed a number of forces for the search. This was then, this is history here now. The British government also offered help, and France also sent a special ship.
Let me stop you right there, bro. I think that line is probably one of the craziest lines in this article, because
worldwide,
bro, for these guys, bro, for these guys. And you're even closer to Greece.
Even closer. They came all the way here off the coast,
all the way for these
off the coast of Canada.
Bro, that's crazy, bro. That's so wild to me. Like when I read that, I was
they moved heaven and earth. Bro,
insane.
The U.S. Navy and Coast Guard spent millions.
Crazy.
Millions of dollars. This is not actual just cash, but this is like the
time,
man hours, the resources to move from point A to point B, the wear and tear, particularly one of the things they're using the P3 Orion. This is shout out to the P3s. That's my unit. They use them. Those are some old ass planes. You don't just use those off of whim or willy nilly. You gotta save the hours. Those are some old planes.
Yeah.
Requiring a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now that's more maintenance. And every time they do a flight, they got to do a whole rundown on the maintenance. So now you got to pay those people to go do that. And if you need new parts, you got to go, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they moved heaven and earth.
That's so crazy.
When just a week prior, they pulling people out, a few people out the water. The submersible disappeared as it's a tragedy for its occupants and their families, but why do we give these missing people so much more sympathy and attention than the hundreds of migrants who have died in the Mediterranean in recent days? Why does the fate of a few people who volunteered for an intrepid adventure touch us so much more than that of thousands of desperate people around the world who choose to escape war and poverty, put their lives in jeopardy just to get to a promised land or a shining light on the hill? We look at the missing submersible and look away from the capsized lifeboat. So right here, I have an image for this. Jeff, you can just insert it right here. And that speaks for itself. Yeah. Where right there, missing submersible is taking away all the headlines, and we all just like I didn't even hear about this until after. Because I'm reading stories like this.
Me neither. I didn't hear about this until after. Also, yeah.
Shouldn't suffering through no fault of one's own trigger a stronger reflex to help than a disaster born of thirst for adventure? Not necessarily. As studies from social psychology shows, our sense of empathy for others can overwhelm us. We often ignore people's pain to release ourselves from feeling responsible. In the case of the migrants, one could almost speak of an emotional numbness process, when the influx of migrants into Germany was about to peak in 2015, it's then that Chancellor Merkel made entry into the country easier. She was celebrated for her welcoming culture until the mood suddenly changed and nearly reversed. The German population felt overwhelmed, as did our political parties. The asylum seekers were criminalized, fueling public resentment against them. Now, no one hesitates to discuss the need to monitor European borders more closely. Hashtag build that wall. That's all that is. And that's what's going to end up happening when, you know, we a big part of the problem is we're not realizing. Okay, so I took that personally. I am an immigrant. I'm not a refugee. I was never a migrant. But we immigrated. Well, I did from a country where there was less opportunity, less resources, right? Less life expectancy to a country that offered at least the hopes of those things. So all that to say, I wasn't born here. I chose here. Some people were dying to get to Greece. How many people are in Greece who were born in Greece who don't even fucking know the name of the damn state capital where they live? How many people were born in Greece and just been in Greece all their life and have never visited the west coast of Greece or the west side of their country?
Facts. Yeah.
How many of them even know who wrote their constitution? But you know what? Immigrants do.
Yeah.
To get here, we gotta fucking learn about the country. We could have gone anywhere, but we chose you.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be here. These refugees actually want to be. They're not gonna take that country for granted where they struggled and put their life on the line to get to.
Of course not. Yeah, of course not.
You can't just flippantly just like, oh, just deport everybody or criminalize everybody or separate families. That's the height of hubris and like nationalism to where not even realize that if you look in the mirror, you're a fucking immigrant too.
Yeah. Big facts. Let me pose this to you. What do you say to those the folks who are in support of more border security from this perspective, where they're like, economically and logistically, our country can't take on more migrants? How would you respond to that?
I would say it's not accurate.
What if that's the position they take?
It's not accurate.
Okay.
It's not accurate.
I'm talking about Greece. I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about
well, Greece can. I mean, I don't know their numbers over there, but yes, I do believe in borders. Okay, this country is okay, this is our country. This is Canada. That's Mexico. I'm not. There's history behind how things ended up being the way they are, and where people speak different languages, and the history got us here. There's no way we're ever gonna erase these lines. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden, China is Russia, is Germany, is Ukraine. No, it's not gonna happen. These political factions. I get it, right? But immigration enhances your society. It also allows these immigrants to get the resources that they need while giving to our society and being able to support their people back home. So now those people don't fucking come over here, right? They can stay home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen. If they can't support them, then they're going to get smuggled over here. They're going to find their way over here. And now we have two where there could have only been one. Or even maybe what's happening is these people now come here and learn some skills. This is why we need visas. This is why we should expand the visas, learn some skills. If they don't have the resources down there to like the schooling, whatever, and then allow them to go back home and they go build where they at.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, guess what? We should invest in them too. Because if we don't want the problem over here, we got to make sure that in our USAID, you know what I mean, our USA that we hand out, and all other infrastructure things that we give to other countries. Part of the reason that we do it, two reasons. There's several reasons, but the two reasons primarily that stand out for me. Part of one, because if they're Gucci over there, they're not gonna come over here.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna exploit.
That's a fact.
How can I? What kind of leg do I have to stand on? I'm gonna go to your country, exploit all of your fucking resources. This is Haiti we're talking about, right? Exploit all of your fucking resources, snatch all of the opportunity and all the land, and then get mad that you trying to fly over here where all the resources went to. Trying to swim over here, trying to get on the boat over here, retire over to get them over here, oversized as it may be, because this is the place that has the resources. Well, guess what? If I leave the resource where the fuck they at, or I help invest in the resource and help you develop your country,
yes,
you will stay over there.
Yeah.
And here's the second reason. Because you have a McDonald's that you would like to fucking open up in Haiti.
Right.
And you have a freaking Starbucks that you would like
Absolutely.
to open up over there.
Absolutely.
So guess what? If that country is Gucci and stable, yeah, I'm going to go bring my freaking chain restaurant over there. Yeah, I'm going to go bring my freaking Apple store over there.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go bring my Toyota dealership over there. Because this is a functioning society.
And it has infrastructure,
And it has infrastructure. And you're not compounding whatever issues that may be there by freaking ripping them of the resources. So this is what I'll say. Hey, we can have borders in our country. That's fine. We can have respectable borders. But us doing the whole shut down, build all the walls kind of thing, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We have fruit and vegetables right now in Alabama dying on the vine because ain't nobody there to fucking pick them. When people are lined up, they say, we will pick them for you. And matter of fact, we'll pick them for the low. Which is a tragedy in and of itself.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We'll pick it for the low.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
We are shooting ourselves like, and then you go to the store and you mad. You talking about inflation, prices is up, and egg prices is high. Who the fuck you think is freaking culling these chickens and freaking picking all these damn eggs and boxing them up? The fuck? You're not being consistent with your logic.
Even things like
that's what I would say to him.
Yeah, even things like rice. Rice is Haiti's largest export, and we import a lot of rice. The United States import a lot of rice from Haiti, literally because of the proximity. So like these things, it would behoove the United States to be more invested in like, hey, let's help them to have a better infrastructure to be able to continue to provide us with what we want from them.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
In closing, I'm down for explorers and everything, and I want people to explore. But these motherfuckers here did not. They had no good risk management, and that's just stupid. They did stupid stuff. They signed all that stuff away. They visited that submersible. They looked inside. You sat there through PowerPoints after PowerPoints. Apparently, they had through a lot of PowerPoints. You sat through all of that to learn the details about this thing, and you went in there and you said, "Yeah, and I'm going to sign."
Don't forget, they paid 250 bands too.
250 bands for it.
250.
And you ain't got. You can't give me pillows on. You can't give me pillows on the ground or something.
You can't even give me assurances. That's crazy.
No assurances.
That's crazy.
Y'all did that. That was dumb. That was dumb that y'all did that. That y'all paid all that money for that. So I'm not categorizing y'all under explorers, because explorers want to make it back home.
Yes.
They do everything they can.
They account for everything.
And they have contingency after contingency. They got a backup plan for the backup plan.
Absolutely.
And y'all didn't even have a single redundancy. No, that was just dumb. And then people signed their life away. And the dude freaking, unfortunately, the one victim here is the 19-year-old, because he didn't want to go.
The son.
He didn't want to go. He was going to please his dad. You know what I mean? Dad put the pressure on him to go, and he just fucked over his son like that. And I hope the last thing on his head, on his brain, for that split second before the implosion happened, was like, yeah, you're a bad dad. You died a bad dad. Fucking sucker. So now that we have your attention about what happened with these refugees, they're not the last ones. They're not the only ones. They weren't the first to capsize. They weren't the first to get exploited, primarily by those the smugglers. What I was saying earlier is that out of the people who got rescued, 9 of them were the smugglers.
Yeah.
It's fucking a twist of the fate, right?
Insane, bro.
So I'm gonna direct you all to rescue.org. This organization, it does what its concentration is refugees, right? Rescue.org. However much you can give, $50, $20, or even if it's just sharing their link, the rescue.org, to folks. What they do is they deliver. They say here on the site, delivering lasting impact. They serve people whose lives have been upended by war, conflict, and natural disasters. They respond within 72 hours, and staying to help countries stabilize and help people rebuilding their lives, right, when the disaster happens. They work in countries where people don't have the support they need to recover from a crisis, right? So they also, recovery, not just only in split second disaster situations. And they help resettle refugees that are welcomed into the United States, helping them to succeed and thrive, providing resources for them to integrate and to just to help rebuild their lives and communicate with loved ones. But for the ones that, and again, this word right here, this word is doing a lot of heavy lifting. This says, we resettle refugees welcomed by the United States. So we're not a very welcoming place, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on what administration we got going on. So, but for those that do get
what country you're coming from too, and all that.
Yeah, depending on what country you're coming from and all that kind of stuff, all them, and the countries that have people a little bit more melanin, sometimes it turns out they finding it a little bit more difficult than, say, fucking Norway.
I know, yeah, big facts.
Okay.
I know a lot of people. That's still waiting on visas, and I met, man, I'm not even gonna get on that, but there are people waiting years and years just to get a visa. This is crazy. So
yeah, but even then, hey, Ukrainians right now, they're going through it, and they got some. They coming here, you know what I mean? So this organization will help. So if it's the Ukraine thing that you want to put in your mind.
Even in Ukraine, though, some of the African folks who have Ukrainian citizenship, they've been going through some hardships too.
They're going through trying to get escape. You know what I mean? But they've had those issues, so that's the way it is. That's way. But like organizations like this help all refugees, and some that look like us can be helped in the process as well. Particularly, they're the authors were also directing us to check out rescue.org and to donate and help push out their message. It's fucking a sad state of affairs, how we have such a glaring example in real time like this, just like this. We all those millions of dollars, just one of those should have been donated to getting them some of those people in the countries that they were coming from, in Libya, that could have helped prevent them from even being on that damn ship in the first place. And Syria. There were several countries they were coming from. Afghanistan, I think some of them came from.
I mean, because some of those countries they are literally failed states. That's what they are. They are identified.
This is what people are fleeing from to save their lives, leaving everything they
the
know.
Government is, I don't think people understand what that means. A failed state. That means it's done. Like there's no infrastructure there. It's unstable. It's done. It's done.
So you check them out. Rescue.org. It's summertime, and so we got some background music here. We got some instrumentals coming from Yaahn Hunter Jr. It's called Yaahn Hunter Music Summer Tape. So look that up, and it's a summer. It's a summer theme song, man. It's like you could keep this playing in the background all summer long.
Okay.
It's all instrumental. It's real groovy. It's I think he works with like some Christian music artists or something like that.
Yaahn Hunter?
Yaahn Hunter. Yeah, so maybe look him up. I know there's a
might check him out.
There's a song with what's her name? Summer Chillin'. I think it's Chastity and Ty Lynn. I think they might be some. So it might be look some of them up. I mean, with a name like Chastity, no, you know what I mean? All right, all right.
Wow.
Right. So check that album out. That was groovy. It's dope. It's most instrumental. The one song where they're singing is the one that I just mentioned there.
Okay.
But it's a good track. Just freaking you sitting on your porch, freaking just drinking some lemonade and fucking taking in the sunshine.
That's dope.
Even
That's
has
dope.
the that one song, Everybody Loves the Sunshine, My Life,
Oh
My
yeah,
Life.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
he's
true.
just but it's just instrumental,
Yeah.
and his kind of vibe on it. This is freaking
Okay, okay.
real chill freaking time. It's 9 songs on there, so just put it on repeat.
Mm, cool.
Keep
It's
going.
cool.
Another one I want to uh I revisited this album. This is the Anonymous Nobody from De La Soul. Um yeah, De La Soul. They're still making music, right? But I mean,
And
this was from 2016. This album was from
oh yeah,
2016,
I was about
and
to ask you like when that joint came out, but
but
yeah, go
still though,
ahead.
like their first album was 1989.
Yeah, yeah, they've been around for a bit.
You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking
Been around
about with
for a bit.
longevity in the game and still
Yeah.
making good music. They might have had like a little lull in there, but
Mm,
they was working this entire time. I mean, we talk
mm,
about from 89 to 96, pretty much every other year, every couple of years they put out an album. Took a
okay.
little bit of hiatus, but then from 2000 to 2004, they put out 3 albums right there. They took another hiatus and they got in 2012 and then 2016. So they've been working and like they might have a little bit of space in between, but
Yeah.
and I've seen these guys, they definitely look their age, though.
I bet.
They look
I
their age,
bet.
dog. They do, but they I mean
I
they
bet.
still and the flow is still kind of old school a little bit. It's
Mm.
not as bad as like my name is Darwin and I'm here to say it ain't all
Yeah,
that.
because I was getting those type of
No,
vibes when you
no,
said
no, no.
that.
They spitting.
Oh,
They doing their thing. They groove. They sound older,
mm,
but they still cool. It's still cool, and like the music selection
mm,
is great.
mm,
So I definitely recommend checking it out. I I was listening to it back in 2016,
mm.
and then like I revisited again, a year later. So like it's been on rotation for me for the past several years, and so it's about time I came back around and came back. Oh yeah, I remember this album. Let me listen to it again.
Yeah.
And what really got me on this particular vibe is I came across a Phonte album. So Phonte is half of Little Brother. That's another
Okay.
duet. That'd be top 5 for me with
Yeah,
Phonte and
yeah.
Big
I
Pooh.
heard about Little Brother. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard about
Phonte
them.
and
Yeah.
Big Pooh. There's like
Mm,
the duo, man. They haven't made music together in a long time.
mm,
But they were great. They put out a lot of work when they were,
mm.
and all their stuff is just like you could put on a Little Brother, like if you go to your playlist and just put Little Brothers just greatest hits or
Yeah.
whatever, and matter of fact, you could just put all their albums back to back and just press play for the entire day. You'll be
I
fine.
don't know, man. That's
All play the whole catalog. Play the Little Brother
they
catalog.
rocking like that.
Do yourself a
Okay.
favor. I've done this. I've
Mm,
gone on like a 4 hour, 5 hour hike and played Little Brother, like
mm.
and played all of their joints just
It's
back to
impressive.
like it's
Impressive.
good, right? Their stuff is that good. They it's just and it's groovy, right?
Mm,
It's rap, it's hip hop,
mm.
um, but the music behind it it's thoughtful,
Yeah.
and they also actually were doing the melodic thing
Mm,
incorporated in their songs,
mm.
way before everybody else, Drake did it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Um, so this album is called Tigalero. Now this is just Phonte on this one, and Eric Robertson,
Mm,
right? So that's who else is featured there. But it's Big Tigger. You know what I mean? He's got 10 tracks, and it's a little bit of a romantic album, I'll say.
okay. Okay.
It's a relationship album. He talks, he talk about ups and downs in relationships and stuff, and
Sure.
um, uh, I remember one line in there. He's like, "It's so easy loving you," right?
Mm,
And so these songs are dedicated, or the object, or the subject of these songs would be to, a love interest kind of thing,
mm,
and but it's not all completely heartbreak like
yeah.
Adele or something like that. You know, you could play this. You could play this with, you know, with your,
with all that.
yeah, you could play with your partner. You could play with your partner, and you know, y'all could dance. Y'all could, you know, hand in hand 2-step kind of thing. It's that kind of whole thing's like that. It's like you're gonna do some two-stepping. You know what I mean? It ain't no booty shaking. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. It's really a grown folk freaking vibe, and just plays.
So you telling me ain't no Uncle Luke in that bed? Yeah?
I mean, he does got one track on there where they was doing some ad libs, like it was almost like the hype man kind of ad lib, like don't do it, you know, kind of thing. It was like, that feels a little out of place. So there was one track, I can't recall which one it was, but the message in the song was something we talked about. Actually, was he was saying advice to his guy friends, I guess, just like, bro, you don't want to be out in these streets right now. Just stay at home and be a family man. He said, go home. He said, go home and be a family man. Yeah, you know what I mean? He closes off the song like that. So the song was a good song. It's just that one weird little element that was part of that. But other than that, you know, it never took me out the vibe, and it got me, reminding me back of the De La Soul album. So it got me in that vibe, and then of course it blends it perfectly with the Hunter Jr. The Yaahn Hunter album. So I put them things together and hit shuffle, bro, and I was vibing.
All right, man. So that's what's up, man. Is that all? Is that all we got for today?
Yeah, it looks like it's it. We did our homework. We covered a bunch of stuff. Jonathan Majors, you know what I mean? Hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah.
There. We talked about tech news, what's going on with AI, and hey, double check what you read and see out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get some debunking out there, and check out. Also, you can check out Business Insider for that Electron article that we read about, and there's a video. They link to a video. You can see the testing of on this, like, and it's a circular track.
Yeah, I think it's like a closed off.
Yeah, it's a closed loop circular track. You can watch the video of that. Of what, and the guy has a video where he sounds like a true believer that this shit is gonna take off. But it ain't gonna happen, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry. I'll be the first to tell you right there. But
I don't know about that, bro. Yeah.
Then of course we covered the Titan sub, and we handed out our first Darwin Awards. Not because of the gene pool thing, but because of you taught us what not to do. Okay, and what we not gonna do is go in no goddamn sub. They ain't got no redundancies. They ain't got no seats. You ain't got no chairs. First of all, I ain't going. You ain't got nowhere for me to sit. I ain't going. You see the way my back is set up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I'm sorry, I ain't got my knee here, my right knee. Nah, I ain't got it in me, bro.
No,
for how many hours?
It is not like we were thinking about doing that, but at least you gave us the extra data that we need.
No, I'm definitely not gonna do that. When I hit that lotto, I got that lotto. You know, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go on that summer. No, I'm not gonna do that. Get that off my list. Get off the list. But yeah, and then make sure you visit rescue.org. Donate, share that link, share with your friends, and June 20th was World Refugee Day, and that was just a couple of days ago. So in celebration of that, not celebration. I'm sorry, in recognition of that. And we should be celebrating refugees though. Yeah. But yeah, celebration of refugees. Yeah. That freaking get the fuck out of Dodge when they got to and survive and live and become functional members of the societies that they land in across the world, and make those societies better, because now y'all got those fucking taco trucks and shit that y'all didn't fucking have. Now y'all got those damn falafel joints. You know what I mean? That y'all love. You know what I mean? Freaking haters out there. Now you got naan. You ain't even know nothing about naan. Now you know. You don't know about naan.
Yeah.
Now you know. Right? So they do make the world a better place. They make your society a better place. So they should be celebrated. But that's off that I'll get off that soapbox for right now. Go check out rescue.org. And that's it. Mission accomplished.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Stay safe.
Stay dangerous.
It's challenge day.